Does it work? I think we burned it out. Christina! Oh.
Pass it. Twist it.
Oh, come on, you gotta give me more time!
You're out. Twist it. Pull it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Twist it. Pass it.
What? What does that mean?
Pull it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Pull it. Twist it.
You pull it.
Pass it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it. Pass it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it. Twist it. Pass it.
Wow, I get all the passes and stuff.
Bop it.
So I did pretty good.
Too fast for you?
No, it's not too fast for me. What are you guys doing? I figured I would just include that old clip. That was my guitar that... I don't know if I have any pictures of it. I sold it about 5 years ago. It's like a 1969 Gibson Les Paul that I kind of hot rodded out. And of course, with the divorce and getting out of the hospital and everything, I'm like, I had to sell it. So I was like, I'll just noodle around with it. I set a piece of crap camera up on something next to the amp. The amp was really loud, and I'm like, I just aimed it. And I'm like, what is this thing? What can it do, right? So I was like fooling around. I was just having fun with it. There's a couple of different ways to play that song. There's probably 3, but the other way is to put a capo on it, and you could get a different sound out of it. You put the capo on, you can go up on the neck a little higher, and I like the way that sounds better than more of a traditional way. And I think the third way is maybe you could retune your guitar to like an open tuning or something, and you could play it differently as well. Let's see what you guys are up to. What's going on? I got some stuff I want to show you, fellas. So Mark is here. So Drunken Jim is here. Boneyard is here. Henry is here. Let's see. Who did I miss? Mark, Henry, Jim. I know Brett. Mark is saying, hope everybody is well. He says, we are a good 30 degrees warmer still here in Canada than normal. And that's not good because he says the trees might die because they're starting to bud. And that's true. It's all a plot against us. But he's enjoying it. Yeah, excuse me. It's been raining here, so it's not really that cold. I actually got a chance the other day to go out and wash that green machine. I think I showed you guys last week. I was working on that green Craftsman snowblower with the 11 horse Tecumseh on it, and it's got the cast iron sleeve with the 30-inch cut. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. I did a little bit more to it. I actually got it run a little bit. Let's see. OG says, "Hey Arch." Mark says, he said 6-cylinder. I know the Fender says 350 on it. I'm like, nobody's going to win that anyway. They're not going to let anybody win that. It's horrible. And they probably swap out. Like, they'll show the nicer car with the rich appointments, and then they'll give you the beater, right? That's the lot beater. And then you got to pay taxes and everything. So that just goes to show you how much our money has eroded. And so the only reason a car is $3,000, because in like 1972, if you made $100 a week, that was a lot of money, and it was because your money was worth about 80% more than it is now. So our dollar's going to crash. But I digress. Let's see. OG said 73 hatchback was my first car. That was a pretty cool. My neighbor, who was about like my age, Erin, she went to the Catholic school. She had one of those with the hatchback. They even offered, I think they offered a kit, like a camping kit for that car. Because I had the 73, I had the 72, I had the Omega, I got my 69 Nova. That, just breaks my heart just to even think about selling it, which I did. Brett says dilly dilly. What's Bad Company, good call. Yeah, that's like just rock and roll to me. Like when I think of rock and roll, like there's a lot of different kinds of rock and roll, obviously, but Bad Company is to me like the quintessential, rock and roll band. I guess they're British, but when I think of rock, how can you not think of those guys? They weren't too hard. They weren't too soft. It was just good rock. Let's see. Thanks to the chat last night. Brett says, I kind of like started to fall out. I rarely ever do stuff like that. Like on Facebook, I unfollowed everybody because I have a pretty diverse, number of friends and whatever, but they say stupid crap and they think that they can get into these crazy political conversations and everything. It's just, I read some of this stuff and then they start to fighting and I'm like, all right, stop. Right. And so I just said, you know what, quietly, I never unfriend anybody really, except my friend Rob, because he just gets crazy. Because he and I just argue, and I usually try to avoid that because my friend Rob W and I will just argue. Like when we get into that, it just becomes an argument. And, so I've known him forever, so I hate arguing with him. He's, what can I say? Rob, if you're out there, you listen, you have shitty politics. You see how it starts? We'll egg each other on. We'll say something. We know how to push each other's buttons. Henry says he had a 1971 yellow 442 Oldsmobile. So those were awesome, right? So when my older brother graduated college, my father bought him one. But if the 442, and it was a gold color. And if you hear the one side of the story that I remember is that my father, got him the car for graduation from college and all this other stuff. And then my brother will complain that he had to pay the taxes and then eventually he had to take over the payments. Yeah, but he wouldn't have been able to get the car if it wasn't for my father, right? Putting the money down and picking up some of the payments and doing whatever. I don't know. He's like, I got to pay the insurance. What do you want? Want a man to pay for you the rest of your life? You had a 442. You're an idiot. If he's watching, you're an idiot. That's my older brother. I never got anything like that. Oh, my God. I had to pay my mother's car insurance. Let's see, Bravo says, even all gents fell asleep on the couch a bit ago. Sweet. Nice. Freaking almost 70 degrees here. I know, right? It got colder today, but sunny. And yesterday it was raining like a lot of the week. And so I got a chance to actually wash that machine because when I started taking it apart, it was pretty nasty. And I'll show you. I'm just going to do some outtakes quick. But it was nice because I think it was actually warmer than today. As nice as it got today, got to spend some time with a cool customer. He picked up his 2 nice snowblowers that I finished up for him. He's got other work, so he's a contractor. So that's the guy that I have that, and Brett will remember, I've got the Toro personal pace style, I can't think of it right now, the twin propeller, you know what it is. Anyway, that thing, it needs a motor, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to get the Kawasaki motor, so that's coming up. I'm like, good, let's get it going. I want to put a nice Cowie motor on there. He says, Henry says, yeah, great car. That thing was a really nice... Those cars are so nice. And my parents had 69 and 71, I think, or maybe 72 Tornados. They were so nice. And I always just remember, the speedometer was either, whenever my mother drove it, the speedometer was either on 0 or 80. Let's see, Robert says, Johnny Bravo, the couch potato. Mark says, 69 Plymouth Satellite Sport was my first. A friend of mine has a nice Plymouth. It's like the Belvedere, and it's one of the early ones. And we kind of put together the motor, the 440, and he's got it, and he's got to stick it in. And I gave him a hand with it. Thing came out mint. But he towed it over to some kind of storage unit. I'm like, there it goes. Never going to see that again. That project's done. He's never going to finish it. He just likes to work on his house. Robert says, you betcha, and damn proud of it. Dilly, yeah. Bonio, this is, I have a Gibson Studio. Those were nice. I had the Gibson Les Paul 70s pancake style. Should have never gotten rid of that. That was a tobacco sunburst. My friend Arthur still has it. And I traded it for something, probably part of the work I did for the 69, because he's like a luthier. And then I had that 69, which I modified. And I had my father, when I was in high school, he bought me the Paul, which I wish I still had. I actually had to sell that to buy an effing car. Yeah, I had to sell my guitar to buy a car because I was so broke, because my father at that point couldn't help me anymore. But yet my older brother's complaining because... I don't get it. Let's see. Robert says, I believe that 442 has a special type of transmission called a rock crusher. That's the 4-speed. The ones that he had was an automatic. But you're close. Backwards says, hey, Arch. And everybody else. Brett says, yeah, the Time Master. I knew Brett would help me out. Because I can't think. You know, it's the end of the day and I'm starting to lose it. Great Saturday night, Robert says. Let's see. Backwards says Henry Murasky, Big Dog Repair. Hello, Uncle Mark. Henry says, hey, Backwards. Hey, Backwards. Phone garage, phone repair. Hello. Rock Crusher was a Muncie M22. Yeah. Those things were nice. I think that's what my friend Rob W. He's got one of those. He's got a beautiful Chevelle. It's just basically been sitting in his garage for years, but it's beautiful. It's all done up. Another trophy winner. It does have the 307 in it, but that car moves pretty good. 4-speed. The car is mint. Like, well, now it's getting a little bit beat up, but it's just been sitting. It needs new tires and a few other things. But he wanted to fool around with the nitrous and stuff in it. He wanted to get too complicated with the nitrous. I just blasted as much nitrous as the engine would handle. I did that. I think I told you guys about that. In my Red Nova, my 73, I had the 283 that I got from my buddy Arthur. And he had rebuilt that motor for the Impaler he had, and then he decided to go to a 409. So when he found the 409 and had it rebuilt, I took the 283. That thing would take anything. That was a great motor. That's another car and motor I wish I still had. It's a great motor. Steel crank, steel rods, I think it had still. It wasn't a lightweight block. It was based on the older block, which was heavier. And considering with gas and everything, you could put any gas you wanted in it. It ran really good. Let's see. I was saying, everybody. Kidding backwards. We got to show my fans video. We got to show my fan video. What'd you do? A new video, Brett? Yeah, I'll check it out. Check it out in a little bit. Let me show you guys a couple of shorts. Hold on. Let me put up the right monitor. Let's get annoyed for a minute. Let's see. So you may know this guy. He's Wrangle Star or something. This is, what are you playing with, Uncle Archie? I'm playing with you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Make sure the audio's on. You're going to need to hear it. Let me roll it up.
I'm about to call the United States Navy. You're going to want to hear this conversation.
America's Navy, this is Petty Officer Adam.
Hey, Adam. This is Cody. I'm calling from Washington State.
Hello, Cody. I am in Oregon State.
Yes. I just heard on TikTok that you guys are no longer requiring GEDs or high school diplomas. Is that true?
Will do, Senior. You still there?
Yes.
Okay. So, the newer... yes. Apparently, that is correct. The caveat to that is you have to score 50 or above on the ASVAB.
All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that. Looks like we're going to war.
Well, thanks for giving me information. Oh, well, let's hope not. But thanks for giving me some information. So I appreciate it, and I learned a little bit. So good to go. Yeah, if you get any more questions or anything, reach out to us, okay?
I appreciate that. Have a good day. Straight from the horse's mouth. We're going to war.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to call the...
Let me roll up. I want to catch two other fellas, and we can chat about that. That's interesting. So that's Wrangle Star, and that is very interesting. His
Can you
monkey.
still fire a bullet if there's no...
I thought this
bullet
was
in
cool.
it? There's nothing left in here but the blast cap. Let's see what happens when we put it in the gun. I have to use pliers to get it in there because there's no round end on it anymore.
He's just having some fun.
I know it'll make noise, but I wonder what'll happen. Wow, like a cap gun. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's cool.
A 16-year-old girl, Kennedy Bowman, she received a cease and desist order on her bee farm. So the town sent them the cease and desist order. And all they've done is basically cleared a little bit of area, put down some crush and run to have a clean apiary. They literally tell you, you can't touch that. You can't go near it. If we see you near it, you're gonna get fined. And in their case, the fining was as much as $60,000. And we need to start getting our elected officials to think of the fact that we have a right as a human being, an inherent right to grow food, to trade food, to take care of ourselves. Honeybees are amazing. They're amazing to the environment. You know, I never even imagined somebody coming out to our property and saying, hey, you put some crush and run down that area and put a couple beehive stands on there. We're knocking you down for unpermitted development. That's ridiculous. We really need to start reeling some things in and put life into check. A 16-year-old girl.
Oh, I'm coming back. I just wanted to share that with you fellas. Just to kind of, well, it's a buffer in the middle too, which was nice. So something fun. But yeah, I would agree with these two fellas. So going to war, well, it could be in a couple of different places, since it seems that the whole world is basically at some kind of, entire world war. I wouldn't be surprised. Would suck if we go to war with whoever we go to war with at this point. But it certainly looks like we're on the threshold. We already are in wars. This is just getting out of hand. Everything is just getting out of hand. And Yanasa, this fellow here, he's absolutely right. Like the state and local governments, like you have to list everything, and because they want to tax it, they want some kind of income, they want to control it, they don't want you doing this or the other thing. It's like that's not what the whole idea of the country was supposed to be. Is to live in a commie state. It's getting ridiculous. You can't do anything anymore. Let's see if you guys are up to anything. It says we got to show my fan video. I think did we show? I thought we showed that last week. No, I don't think. Maybe that wasn't the one. That was a nice fan. Yeah, we'll show that. I'll go find it. Yeah, the Tacommish powered one. I think I'm going to put that 4-cylinder flathead on a Cub-Cadet garden tractor. Oh, bro, that would be so cool. It definitely needs to be. Let's go find that. Hold on. I want to go find Boneyard first, in case you guys haven't seen it. Let me go find. It should be up a little higher on my list. Okay, Brett. Well, we're definitely going to take a look at that. But I wanted to talk about this last week a little bit. I think I did chat a little bit about it. Hold on. Let me cue it up. Let me find it. Are you up here? I watched it recently. Yeah, no, I have to go look. Yeah, here it is. All right, I'll cue it up. There's a couple of cool things in here I got to catch up to. Probably tomorrow if I'm sitting around. But this thing was cool. Oh, I said backlapping an old school lock mower. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hold on. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Just run through this real quick. But I wanted to look at this thing.
Ensure your small business with a fellow small business owner.
Am I?
Talk to an agent
If you don't mind, Boneyard.
Excitement comes
Too late now.
Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged.
We'll just kind of skim through it.
Today we're gonna go old school.
This thing cool. Oh, yeah, tease.
And then you would put this graphite and draining oil.
I know, right?
Oil with you see the graphite in it. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna put the machine on forward so it's going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll through it because if you guys want to watch it, you gotta go to his channel.
First, you gotta be careful.
Oh yeah, be careful, bro. What are you doing?
Shirt on with a string. You don't want to get it.
Oh, gee, this is.
We're gonna just bring this down a little bit.
Playing with knives. Nobody's playing with knives. That's too funny. Oh my God, it's over here too. Why can't you do that adjustment before you start spinning the things?
Now, I'm gonna take our oil.
There he goes. Let's see. Oh my God. Listen to the
I
sound.
was a kid. He said, "Hey Tom, go put some in join them on that, will you?
We'll bring the volume down a little bit. Why don't you butter it up beforehand? You know, like keeping your hand.
So we're gonna let that go for a while, and I'm gonna put some more on there.
Oh my God! Let's see.
I don't know.
We should have gave us like a really good look at like the
You
grain.
can hear there's a lot of
Oh
oil
wow!
in there now, but the
Let me see.
You can see how shiny it is.
Oh wow!
across. So we're getting it pretty good there. It's hard to see, but there's a lot of oil down there now. But the bed knife looks pretty clean too. So I think
That's
what
so
I'm going
cool.
to do is we're going to give it another adjustment. See, now look at this end here. It's not so shiny, so we're going to have to bring this side down a little bit. The front one needs a little more attention. That's why I think my father liked to do them one at a time.
Yeah.
You can concentrate on one. But yeah, that front one needs a little attention. And let's see what this one does. The problem with this also is the bed knife is pretty much at its lifespan. Okay, this one doesn't look.
I'm sure you go a little bit longer, it'll cut nice.
So I'm going to start it back up. I'm going to mostly concentrate on that front one right now.
Let's see. That's crazy.
Okay, so got
I know, Johnny, I know.
Pound on that front wheel for now. We're going to leave the side ones alone for now. So I think
That's so cool, though.
Way across to make sure it cuts nice and even. The camera up here.
Oh, nice sun shot.
It's going to be hard to show you guys. Okay, if you just look down there by the bed knife, you see the paper in there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this. Maybe I can go this way. Hold on with me, guys.
Oh, shit.
See where
Yep.
it's cut right in half. There's the other half down there. So what you want to do is set you guys back up.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
What you want to do is go. You want to do each. It's a lot of information to try to get all in the video. If you have any questions, you know, you can leave a comment.
That's pretty cool. I wanted to show you this other one.
I've seen people.
So check out that video. Now this thing. It's just insane. I also wanted to mention something else.
And he said, if you want, you can have it.
So
you
this
can
thing's
just
pretty
kinda go
damn
up,
cool.
Fire it up. So
Yeah, he's going to fire it up. We'll get to that point.
and this might.
Let's see, where'd it
blow
go?
out, so
There we go.
just enough.
By the way, notice this isn't a good shot for it, but the shop is really well lit, but he's got these nice ring lights,
That's good.
which I saw one of the shots where the ring lights were flanking what he was shooting from the side. Listen to this thing. Listen to this thing run. Let me shut up.
You know what I want to do? Even though I got to change the oil, and I'm not going to change that until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. I do want to at least add some and make sure it's full.
Yeah, good idea. Hold on.
Older engine.
It runs so good. Hey, Rental. Hey, Bleach. So smooth. I'm so jealous. Whoops. It's like music. So let's see.
Even this.
Oh, here's a nice look.
Seems like it's holding up. Which I might do is get more and fill in this whole.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Body work it.
I'll fill all this in with JB Weld, get it smooth.
Yeah.
And then I can paint over it, and you would never even know.
Yeah.
It will look better. So yeah, let's start it up for one last time, and
Yeah, I know, Bleach, isn't it? What a find!
and,
What
and
a
the hand crank. I will go over to my mother's house, go to the tree where my dad left it, and chop it out.
that's
I
crazy.
think I have a picture of it. If I do, I will throw it in here to show you how it grew right around the tree. But I believe it's the same hand crank, so that'd be kind of cool. I put it on the tractor and I can hand crank it. I don't even need a battery, but you can do it either way. And that's just a temporary gas tank, so we got to figure out a gas tank. The carburetor is dripping a little bit. You can see I've been wiping it up. It's got a little low end mist. That's probably the carburetor. We will go through that also.
Yeah, that's the Tacoma gas tank. It looks like.
When we're ready. But,
Good
it was
call.
gonna go up in a container and be junked at the junkyard, so we saved another one. Another one got lucky and came to Boneyard Garage
Yeah.
instead of Scrapyard.
Yup.
Let's try to save them one at a time. Not sure where I'm going to put them all, but we'll figure that out when I run out of room, which I'm almost out. Okay, switches on. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I believe that carburetor's flooded up a little bit. Oh, I'm running out of gas. I'm out of gas. That's the problem. Let's see if we can get enough in there to start it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this in that garage in a while. I'm glad you reminded me.
Sure, try to do this one hand. Okay, so we're running out of gas.
Oh, you hear it?
A little bit in there. Okay, so there you have it.
That was awesome. I'm coming back on.
Release
We'll go
power.
we'll find Brett in a minute. Hold on. Shout out to Boneyard. I just had to show that stuff. I was like looking at this thing when I first saw it. I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. I don't see any pictures. You mentioned something about that you had to clean it up. It would be nice to see how bad it was. I'm a fan of before and after shots. I just like to see, well, I don't like to see them all beat up and dirty, but I like it when they come back. And some of the people that watch my channel have said to me, Art, because a couple of times I did this, a lot of times at the end, I'll do like a walk around of the finished machine, and it looks nice. And a couple of times I did this thing, this sort of montage where as I was walking around, you see the old, and I should really set up to do this. And I got to really get this down for this year. But you see the machine originally, and as I come around, you see in that view, you see the machine now when it's done. And as I'm coming around, you see the machine the way it was. And it just did this kind of thing. And some of the fellas had said that was nice. And I only did that like a couple of times. And why I never did it again is just because I'm an idiot, because that's actually a fun thing to do. So I got to try to remember to do something like that this year, at least twice, because I would need to do it once so that I can get a feel for it. And then I can understand what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. And then I would need to do it again, at least, to see if I could actually nail it or just get better at it. All right, let me catch up. Let's see. Bleach is asking how everybody is. Yeah, it looks like a way to lose a finger. I know that's just scary. But, you know, that's one way. I guess you got to do it. Let me catch up with you guys here. Yeah, we got to show my fan video tonight. Yeah, his fan video. His only fan video. No! Brett's only fans video. Brett wants me to show us his OnlyFan video. His OnlyFans video. Something like that. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, that's the Cumish powered one. The Boneyard is. I think I'm going to put that 4-cylinder flathead on a Cub-Cadet garden tractor. That would be cool. And Brett says, no, I uploaded it earlier. It looks like a good way to lose a finger. Johnny Rowan says. Robert says, RM says, I had to sell your guitar, your C guitar to buy a car. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And it wasn't even a really nice car either. But it got me around, and it got what getting done. Bleach wants to know who everybody is. Rental says, cool ceiling in that shot. I know, it is totally cool. He says, hello, everyone, by the way. Bonia says, not. He says, thanks. Bleach says, still revamping the garage. It's been cold here, though. Yeah, I bet. Well, you get done what you can get done. You threw out a lot of stuff, which is good. I'd like to see a video on more of that. Yeah, it does have the Cumptious gas tank from a mower. Yep. Like an Eager 1. Yeah. Got a new batch of bud, too. Nice. He's got bud coming in. Nice. Is it coming in, or you just picked it up? Robert says, it looks like an engine Chad got running. Yeah, this in that garage. Yeah, I definitely got to check that out. Love the old engines. Bleach says, Wednesday nights now. Bravo says, that thing is beyond cool. Yeah, it really is. Just really sweet thing. Bonia says, thanks, I appreciate it. He's sharpening the bed knife. I know, isn't that? It's like, but you got to sharpen them somehow. I mean, I've never done it. I've never had the pleasure of owning a machine like that. That's like Mick over at Mick's Mowers. He bought like all of them. They're newer, but he's got tons of them. Check out those episodes, too, because they're pretty cool. Over at Mick's. This was like a year ago, maybe more now. And then somebody was selling out all of their barrel mowers. That's how I found his channel originally, because I was like, I like some of the older barrel mower videos. When I was a kid, I had a push rotary or blade style, whatever. And it was kind of cool. I wish I still had it. It was old. But it says, going to be an unboxing video on the channel. Okay, nice. Soon. She says, I'm going to throw out as much as I can in the garage, scrap things too. Yeah, if you can get any money for any of it. Friends got me to Bud. Sorry I've not been here in weeks. Well, yeah, that's cool, bro. You've been busy? Hopefully you've been busy doing stuff. But I was like, And I wanted to show somewhere in that video, he's got, let me just see if I can find it real quick, because there was a shot that I was looking at. And is it this one? Because, yeah, hold on. Yeah, kind of right here. Hold on. Let me just show this one part. I'll start off at the blurry part. Hold on. So as he comes around, you see the ring lights? And so that's really nice. Obviously, it's not a good shot, but you get the idea. What's kind of good about that, whatever light you use, but it's not too harsh. Of course, it's around the camera, so he's using his cell phone. So it's around the camera, so it offers like a nice equal lighting. Because the shop is obviously well lit, but when you light from the ceiling, even if it's a slanted ceiling, you are still missing light on the sides. And you see a lot of shadows and stuff when, you know, if you don't have some kind of light coming from the side, that's not, you don't want too much. Flashlights work, but they don't work well in the camera, because usually what we see in the camera when people just use a flashlight is we just see like an overexposed spot and we struggle to see it. And the dude is like, oh, look right here. Well, I'm like, I'm trying to look, bro, but you got a flashlight on. It might be good for you, but I can't see. So it's nice to have some kind of soft, diffused lighting of some kind that's not super bright, but enough to take the shadows away. Because all of these cell phones and everything, they're good at some things, but, you know, they're just not good in unnatural light. They need help, and I always say this. They just need more light. If you can give them enough light and let them settle in, keep the camera relatively steady, they'll give you a pretty decent image, especially if you get close and you stay away from that stupid digital zoom, which I just hate. Let's go find Brett's channel real quick. Come back over here. But yeah, nice job on that. Let me move this to here. Let's see, I always got to search for Brett. There we go. Yeah, this thing's beefy. When you see this thing. Okay. Let's blow it up. There we go. Nice motor.
Watch me. Ready? Take a picture now, or it's already on?
Oh no, Brett's not on the camera. Oh no.
You gotta lift it up. Just
Why do you
lift
make him start it? This way you be on the camera. It was beautiful. So smooth.
That's a bad boy.
Oh yeah. That was fun. That's short. You know, you don't have to make a vertical short. I wanted to show you guys. Oh, in a minute. I'm coming back. I got to find me now. Let's see. Let me go back to me. And what's this video? Scotty Don't. I wanted to show you guys the comments, which I thought were interesting, about Scotty Kilmer. Let's see. Bleach says, so we got the unboxing video coming soon. Friends got me to bar. I've not been here in weeks. I'm going to finish things right and come back. Oh, it says I just sub to Boneyard. Good. Excellent. You will not be disappointed. Boneyard says, small and repaired. Yep. Thanks, Robert. Bravo says, anybody ever used a photo enlarger for making prints knows how important a diffuser is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My friend Steve is into that. Like, him and Rob and a couple others, but mostly him and my friend RW, like, they were into camera, 35 millimeter and stuff. And so when things started to go a little bit more digital with the computers and everything, my friend Steve is not really into computers, but he's into photography. And he started to make prints and blow stuff up. And Rob did for a little bit, but I think Steve got more into it. But I was always impressed with that stuff. But I see things with these big monitors. In fact, I just picked up another monitor. Let me see here. This big guy right here. And a neighbor threw it out. And I'll give you guys like more of a close-up in a little bit. But neighbor threw out a 40-inch. This is a 40-inch Vizio 1080p smart TV. And you could mostly see it here. I mean, I don't feel like turning the camera. I mean, I could. Turn the camera a little bit more. Let's see if I don't bang into everything. Do I have enough rope? Let's see. There we go. So the two 27 inches, the third 27 inch that I was having, I fixed, is over by me as the confidence monitor. So it's out of the view. But it works pretty good. It took me a little while to work with it and figure it out because it's in Spanish. But that's not really the problem because I can read some of the techno Spanish stuff. The bigger problem was that I don't have the remote for it. So because I don't have the remote for it, there's only one knob on it. It's the on-off switch, and it has a rocker that you can lean. You lean towards you, and it will only scroll through the inputs. So it's like, okay, I got the input. But then it was feeding back because the HDMI that it's connected to carries the audio signal for the camera. So I took it apart. I pulled it back off. It was clean in there. Everything looked fine. I just disconnected the speakers for now. So that way I was able to use it, and I was testing it, and I was fooling around with it and trying to get it to kind of match the other monitors and the color, the color and the brightness. The problem is what I have and what a lot of us like YouTuber camera people have is unless you're ready to spend money, there's no good way to really color match and brightness, contrast match your camera to the monitors. So you actually need a little bit of technology to do that. Other than that, you have to do it by eye, and that takes time. So I got it close, but again, like, I don't know, like if I'm adjusting my camera and I think it's too bright and I lower down, let's say the ISO or something, or I can do the f-stop, you're looking at the camera and it's got this tiny little screen. So that's not representation of what the image is. And of course, it's not going to be the representation of the image once it's recorded and everything and it's up on YouTube. So you use your monitors to, and edit or whatever, or I use them with the HDMI output, and I look at it and I have to try to get it close. You don't really know. So if you darken what you think is a bright image in edit and you put the video up and you go to look at it, if you're looking at it in the same monitor that you created it in, you could cause yourself a problem because you won't know that everybody else is looking at it and going, "Why is it so dark, Arch?" So there's all these little idiosyncrasies, and the deeper you get into that rabbit hole, the more time and money. But it can be fun, like it's part of the challenge of doing stuff. And in photography, it operates a little bit differently. And when you go to print something, it's different altogether. I feel your pain. I have a Kodak photo printer. All right, a shout out to TJ. He dropped off some computer gear and stuff, most of which I had to get rid of. It was like 25-year-old computers and stuff. But there's a Kodak printer over there, and I don't know if I can still get the drivers for it, but it's actually a photo printer, and everything is there. And if the ink hasn't fully dried on it, I don't think it's ever been used. It probably will print out a whole bunch of really nice prints. I don't see why it wouldn't. I went through some of the other gear that he had, and I kept a whole bunch of stuff, and a lot of the computers and stuff, though, I had to throw out, because you're talking Pentium 3. I think the newest one there was like Pentium 4. It's like single core, and it's like single operation too. There's no multitasking. Our phones are like 20 times more powerful, 100 times more powerful than a computer from back in like 2000. Bleach says, my legs upper part have been in much pain. Been trying to fix it at the gym on the treadmill and bike. Nice. You got to get that exercise in. Let's see, Boneyard. You're welcome, Boneyard. That's cool. Ed just texted me. He's coming in tonight. Nice. I have to take my dog for a walk. You guys have a good night. See you later, Boneyard. Thanks for the entertainment. It's a Tacommish 850. Finally got the Predator engine yesterday. Nice. Nice. I got to catch up on some of your videos now because you were putting out. You actually stopped for like a little bit, and but I want to check out what you've been up to and see what you've been doing. All right, so we got the fan. I want to show you guys. Let me turn this on. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, we got this over here. There we go. So let me set that up. Okay, that's ready to go. Now I wanted to show you guys the nonsense that I was hearing. I don't know if it's good or bad, but so this is, I did that little Scotty Kilmer thing a couple of weeks ago.
Be proud of what you drive.
Get rid of that.
Oftentimes,
Get rid of that.
parts can be
Let that walk through. So it's just a parody spoof on him. God, that's a long commercial. Okay. So I did that, and people were responding. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of people didn't like him. Some people didn't like me, which was kind of fun, too. This guy, Giant Media, to be fair, Arch's voice is very annoying. Let's see. You got that right. I can actually understand Scotty just fine. And I'm like, I have a silky, smooth, buttery voice. What are you guys talking about, fellas? And this guy goes, the Giant Media goes, you're a hairy version of Fran Drescher. I, like, almost died when I heard that. I'm like, can you imagine, like, that's me, a hairy version of Fran Drescher. I thought that was awesome. I was like, I got to tell the fellas this Saturday, yeah. So I forgot last week. Shawnee Hill, Small Engine, there's nothing wrong with your voice, Arch. You could easily host a Small Engine podcast. And I'm like, I didn't tell him I do. But I should write that in. I should write that in when I get a chance. Mike says, main thing about Scotty, he's got his shit together. YouTube says, sometimes I have to listen to Scotty several times to figure out what he's saying. And sometimes I eventually just give up. This guy, NL3YY, ilk. Scotty is very energetic. He agreed to do a video on my vehicle. Stay tuned. Well, that's cool. Eric Clark has laughed my ass out. Thanks, Arch. Love Scotty's trait. HBR Wicker Jr. whatever. Love Scotty's trademark character. I understand him. Rev up your engines. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Robert Malice says, Scotty is making you get dizzy, Uncle Archie. Yeah. Philip Rand says, great Scotty, Arch. I had to mute the guy just this morning. Old Dennis says, okay, everyone has an opinion, right? Maybe my opinion is he's funny and knows what he's talking about. What does that 6 million subscribers mean? Well, you can't really say just because somebody has a lot of subscribers means that they're right. I mean, they're really good. That's not really a good metric. It is one metric, but it's not the only metric. Brett says he must have had one too many or more Monster Energy drinks prior to his shoot. He's just always like that. Barry Wall says, you got him down perfect, Arch. Blutnays, Scotty drinks organic mead flavor with Muir. Yeah. Dilly! Dimitri Berazzoni. Arch, you are the ding-dong, not Scotty. Dave says he's a little messed up. Robert Mason, you're better than Scotty. You should take over his show when he bites the dust. No. Heinz Guderian says 90% of his advice is bad. Another 8% is just flat wrong. The reason people watch him is because he's entertaining to watch. He's the live-action air dancer inflatable tube man. That is funny. I don't know how many replies are here, but I was like, wow, that's harsh. I was like, wait a minute. If he's that bad, how would you know? Why would you continue to watch someone that you feel is that wrong? That's weird. And Heinz is like, because he's hilarious. You do know when he has repeatedly told his viewers to change the tranny filter and reuse the old worn-out fluid because it has more friction, right? I'm like, wow. All right. Well, there's kind of a little bit of truth to that, and I'll get to that in a minute. Interesting that some people say that. Going to ask the question in my next live show. Let's see. This guy says, at whatever. The others are correct. Scotty Kilmer is not a mechanic, and I mean that literally. Why do we watch him if he doesn't know what he's talking about? Given that his advice is do bad, whatever, some of us try to undo the damage by posting in the comments in his videos. And Heinz says, wow, gonna talk, I think I wrote that. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this on my next live. All right, let me come back. That's pretty bizarre, right? I just thought that was interesting. It was pretty interesting. Let me see. That looks like an engine for a generation machine. So it comes to 850. Finally got the Predator engine. Ed, what's up? Got the Ninja Combi, yeah, cool. So I just thought that was like some interesting stuff. That like an interesting sort of flurry of comments. But of course, in typical YouTube fashion, like it got a bunch of views and then it just stopped. Like everything with YouTube, it just stops. Now, as far as like the leaving some of the friction material in, when I was younger and starting out as a mechanic, and I was around some of the older folk, I had heard some statements like that. Like they would say things like that. Now, I don't remember what they were referring to exactly, like which transmission. It was most likely an automatic, obviously because there's the fluid in the filter. But I had heard stuff like that. Now, I don't know if that was old wives' tale or maybe some of the older cars. There might have been some thing to that. When you put new fluid in, if the clutch plates are starting to come apart, well, it could be that, obviously somebody did not change the fluid and maybe overheated the transmission. In the older days, clutch material didn't survive as long as it does now. And yeah, there might be a little bit of truth to that if you empty it out. Now, I don't know about modern transmissions. I'll say this, though. If there's clutch material in your transmission fluid, don't bother doing anything because you need a transmission. So taking the fluid out and changing the filter isn't really going to do much. And maybe that person just misunderstood what Scotty was saying, because really it doesn't pay to do anything. Like if you see that in there and as all that fluid's got jack in it, put the fluid back in and go to the training place. Tell me, I think I need a transmission. I wouldn't waste my time putting expensive modern transmission fluid in at that point. It's not going to make it better. It might make it worse. And you really need a transmission. And that training is not long for the world. And I've heard even some stories more recently about stuff like that. Was somebody that I was talking to more recently with one of the newer cars was something with the transmission fluid, something to that effect. With these newer trannies, you're supposed to change the fluid. A lot of them, you have to go underneath, and there's a procedure to do it. There's a whole procedure, like my daughter's car. There's a whole entire procedure. It's got to be run in and warmed up, and then you top it off. Or usually what happens is you let it drain out because it'll push some of the fluid out. And when it settles at a certain temperature, and it's got to be up in the air with this thing off the transmission, and when it settles in and everything is happy, then you close it up and you don't touch it again. There's no dipstick on a lot of these trannies. So again, I don't know. That's one of those conversations when you take it out of context, you could go into a dark place real quick. Let's see. Nice. Looking forward to the video, Ed. Nice. So I wanted to show you something else too. Let me bring it up. I also got to pee. Like I got to pee tonight. I think I might just go grab the pee girl. Because whenever you have to pee, if it's on your mind, you can't relax. You can't settle in to anything. Yeah, let me get the pee girl real quick. I'm already an hour in, so I'll do like a 2-hour tonight. That's what you always say, Arch. Let's get the pee girl real quick. You guys can go get a chaw, stuff like that. I'm going to be quick though. I'm not going to take too long. So I got to close some of this stuff. Pee break. Ah, so much better. Go away, girl. Yeah, she's got to leave now. She got the new. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we'll see 2 P-Lady clips. Nice. Sounds like this is on a box then, right? Oh, is she still there? Hold on. Okay, let me turn off the desktop audio too, because it might be a little bit of backfeed echo stuff. So that's a nice monitor, this monitor here. It really is a nice, this thing's pretty cool. And it took me a little while to set up. I put it on a different bracket, and I'll probably show that in a minute. But it just took a little bit to set up once I was comfortable with it and the way it worked and everything. And I put the info bar up here because it's just a little too tall. I put it on a touch of an angle just to face me. So I'm flanked by the 27s. And I enjoy using it, especially if I sit in the other chair because I'm up a little bit higher than this chair, where I am here. It's a nice 1080p monitor. I tried connecting my cell phone to it because it's supposed to be a smart TV, but it won't automatically connect with the app from Vizio. And hey, TJ, and TJ was actually here, and he's like, "Oh, I would have brought you the controller." I'm like, I didn't think to mention it, but it won't connect. The newer TV, I think it's because it's an older TV. The newer TVs from Vizio that are like this are like basically 4K, and they use Bluetooth. So you could just, once you bring up the app, you can just hold your phone near the TV, and it'll connect. So I can't change the language, and I couldn't change the volume control, and I was getting feedback. So since I can't adjust the volume, I went in there and I disconnected the speakers and set it up, and I'm like really happy with it. It plays really well, and it's just a nice big monitor. But it's nice when I'm editing or if I'm watching something kind of neat. But it does get in the way a little bit because it's not the same size as the other monitors. And the other nice thing is I was able to push everything back all the way to the back because I needed more room, and that gave me more room here to put junk. But if I want to put, like last night I was taking apart one of the laptops that TJ gave me, and I had room on the desk to do it. I just pushed the keyboard back a little bit. If I want to put my laptop up for something, I can do that. I have some ideas, and I can do some cool stuff with the show with one more computer. It just gives me more room, and it's just nice, and having everything back out of the way. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. I was having fun with it. I just like technology. That's like my thing. Let me see here. I put a whole bunch of videos together. I don't know what I did with them. Let's see. Because I moved some stuff around the other night, and now I don't know what the hell I did. Now I got this here. This I just took. Let's take a look at this thing. Look at how nice this thing's coming out. Let's see. We'll have the bit of audio because running engines is my favorite thing. All right, I walked away to do a few things. We checked the RPM. We're good. It's got the proper idle, about 2,400. That's what you want. You want to be, because it's slap oiling, so you want to make sure you're keeping the oil going. It's just to take some load off the engine, when we're moving stuff around or whatever. We got about almost 3,600 RPM, 35 and change. It's perfect. We don't need to touch this. Everything is working good except for we know we need a belt for the auger, which I may have one. I let the auger run this whole time. It does need some service, but we'll get to that. There is no drive, right? And it's either it got out of whack, it's trying to spin, but the two wheels are not making good contact. And so we're going to do that next. We'll bring it in. We'll dump the oil while she's hot. All right. We'll put it up on her face. Let me kill it. And it could just be also. And here's another view. I was doing something on it over here. It's coming out nice. Get nice and clean. It got. See, chain wax is drying up. Put a little grease on there as well. It'll roll in a few dollops. Plus, it'll probably spray all over while it does. We got the starter motor back. Let's go check now compression and spark. Oh, God. Oh, my God. The compression was huge. It was like 150. This is the 11 horsepower with the cast iron sleeve. 30-inch cut, slice and dice. Let's see, what did I do with those other videos that I was fooling around with? I moved a bunch of stuff around, and it was late. So, when it's late like that, I don't know. Sometimes I get lost in space. Like, I know what I'm doing. I get very focused. And then a day or two later or whatever, I'm like, where did I put all that crap? I know I put it all together. Where did I put it? Because TJ was here. Let's see. He said hi to everybody while he was here. What did I do with that video? What's today's date? Today's the 3rd, so it would be. So that's from today. This is all 2/2. Yeah, and plus it's a new year. So all my new folders are all in 2024. Yeah, that's all this stuff. Made a whole bunch of new folders for stuff. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Let me show you. It's in the folder with. I started making a folder for that green machine. It's in nice shape. It's so broken. I mean, the handle basically got ripped off of it. So I had to bolt everything in. In order to get to one of the bolts, I had to take the gears out. Didn't matter because the way the handle was and everything else, the whole carriage for the disc and, you know, the rubber douche wheel, that was all blammoed apart. So that was like apart. Missing the washers. What a mess this thing was. I'll show you in here right now. It was like one of the most broken machines. I got real lucky this year because I got to work on a lot of nice machines this year for customers. Not just the ones that I get, but to do service and stuff, especially on the snow machines. The snow machines can be nice. I mean, there's a little bit of rust, but there's no lawn and filth debris, really. And they're just a kind of a different machine. I actually enjoy working on them. Let's say hi to DJ. It's DJ. Let's say hi to Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Tony brought me all of this crazy stuff here, fellas. Look at this. They're all. Some of them are IBM. A lot of them are like my ThinkPad, which we'll talk about that later. But that's a cool machine. But he brought a whole bunch of them. There's 2 more over here. Then there's all of this stuff here. Docking station, which is kind of neat. It is older school. These were set up for like Windows 2000, but I run Windows 10 on my IBM. There's more over there. We haven't even gone through the box yet. So I'll be back later, but I just wanted to show you. So the bounty of kind of cool old stuff. A lot of it might be garbage, but when I get a chance, I'll go through it. Got these old, I remember these.
I still have a ThinkPad, old one.
Wow.
It still works fine in the house.
Wow.
So,
they do work. I mean, if they're in good shape and you have some extra parts, they can be quite useful for another laptop. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back. Nice. Oh, I'm coming back. So, shout out. Thanks, DJ. I went through most of it. A lot of it is garbage because it's 20 to 25 years old. I mean, technology that old is... You can't really do anything with it, but I took a lot of the things that I wanted from my laptop, all the cases. In fact, Liz once, I asked Liz if she needed a case, and a nice laptop case. Christina doesn't want one. I'm like, why would you not? Anyway, Liz said, yeah. She's like, that's so weird because I was just talking about that yesterday. My daughter needs one, my younger daughter, because she needs a laptop case. And she's borrowing her older sister's case. I'm like, well, I got a whole bunch. Pick one out. I know what I want. I know I picked 2, put them aside. And my ex-wife, I'm going to give her one. And then I grabbed a couple of the pieces of hardware and a whole bunch of other things. And then the rest I'm going to give to Juan because it's e-waste. I think I just put aside like 2 or 3 laptops. The newest processor there, as like I said, is a P3 and a P4. And I think the maximum amount of RAM, there was so many RAM sticks, there's a bag of RAM sticks, but they're all ECC, 128 megabytes, 64 megabyte, you know. I mean, that's like, this is going back. I mean, like I said, like our cell phones are way more powerful. Some of the older technology, you know, I go back 10, 20 years with these machines and I can get these things running again. I think they're great. They're dynamite. But when it comes to a lot of the tech, it was really good for the time, but there's almost no going backwards. The CPU in this machine is like 10 years old. And the motherboard too, but it was like really expensive, very high end. Let me show you the rest of this machine here. Come back, Tony. Say hey, Tony, what's up? Let's see if you can see in here. Yeah, you can see how broken it is. I think you get some of it. Yep, there it is. All right, a couple of things I noticed. So this popped off. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect it from here so that we can move it around. Probably because the handle got pulled back. So this is moving for the most part. That spins. I don't know how much of that's moving yet, but this spins. So, and this I think will move. Everything else looks okay. Right, just needs to be cleaned and lubricated because it's dry as a bone. This is before I washed springs it. are there. Let me suck this out with the vacuum and straighten up. Just a little bit of belt wear and some dry stuff down in there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to get washed, but I'm just going to suck it out with the vacuum. And like I said, I'll disconnect that. And let me... Let's see. I don't know if that one's any better. Yeah, that's looking good. So I got some washers on there. And down there, the bottom one there on the top, because when you go to move it, right, you need a little bit more bearing. See how close that comes there? I can't see it. I didn't get a good shot of that. Actually, it doesn't go that far, but it's a little close, don't you think? Can we get a bigger washer on that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't remember the size of the original washers. Unfortunately, I'll come back. My customer that was here today, the two machines that I finished from, I already had buttoned up, and I was getting late when I was working on this the other night, and I just didn't feel like going back to the video. I got to go back to the video on his machines and look at the washers that are supposed to be there. I put hardened steel washers, not regular flat washers. I put actual hardened washers there. You don't really need that, but you need two washers there, and they were missing. They were gone. So the handle's fixed, that's fixed, and the reason why it's not moving is because there's a little bit of wear on the wheel, on the rubber wheel, and I just need to adjust the cable. So this thing needs like basic, minor repairs, usual stuff. It's been kind of rode hard and put away wet, so to speak, and it's almost done, and I'll make a few adjustments, get everything nice and clean, get everything nice and lubricated. I got to replace the belt for the auger. I got to lube all of that. And then I'll probably throw a little paint on it to make it pretty because she's so nice. I just want to get it done and get it off my table because I'd like to keep it. And no one will buy it really right now, even if I were to sell it, because it's getting late in the season. We haven't had enough snow once again. So I'm probably stuck with it anyway. I mean, I'm not going to sell it for a couple $100. And when it doesn't snow, I mean, I could probably get $600 for it. If it was snowing. Market is just horrible when it comes to that stuff. Let's see, sounds like pissing on a box fan. Edward says, I wonder if there is taking a dump, one plop, plop, fizz, fizz, or what relief it is. Yeah? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Cyborg piss. Yeah, he really had it be. DJ's laughing. That's funny. So I went through everything just to kind of clean up, put everything away. I'm trying to organize the shop and keep what I think I'm going to need versus what I think I want versus really what I don't need, because then it just takes up a ton of room. And my buddy Juan will get a lot of the heavier stuff. I'm pretty sure he can take e-waste. I generally see stuff like that in the bed of his trailer. I tend to poke through whatever's in his trailer. I put stuff on his trailer, but before I do, I like to browse. It's like portable. I mean, a lot of times he comes when it's empty, but when he has something in it, it's kind of neat because it's like portable dump action. So he'll be happy. I have some other machines to go through too before I call him because I want to do like an early spring cleanup around here. It's getting a little messy out in the garden, fellas. A little messy. What was the other thing I wanted to show you guys? Hold on. I gotta get comfortable. Squeaky chair. Something else. There was something else too that was kind of cool. I wonder if I recorded it or... I don't remember. Let me take a look at this file. Let's see. Because I was busy all week. And I also didn't feel good either because there's something going on with my diabetes. I was really struggling with it this week. When they diagnosed me as a brittle diabetic. And my blood sugars go from like 50, which is bad because I'll sweat, I'll have a heart attack, or my brain will shut off. They can't understand how I have not been in constant comas. And they'll go up to like 500. And originally it was pinning out the meter. I think there's something else wrong. They just don't know how to deal with it. And it's been up and down. And what'll happen is it'll wake me up because it'll go too low. Unfortunately, I wake up because most diabetics don't. They just don't wake up. When it does that, they don't know to get up. They don't get that sensation and they don't get up. And the only way you can treat yourself is you have to eat a lot of sugar, which ultimately will, since I'm sensitive to anything with sugar, I'll overshoot. So I'll get this roller coaster, and then I get really tired, and then I have to go back to bed because I've got woken up and I'm a mess, and I have to wait until my blood sugars are stable enough to go and lay down for a couple hours, and then I get up, it's late, and then you don't have any energy in your body because the sugar is not being imparted into the mitochondria and the tissues and the muscles. So what I noticed this week is I stayed up all night until about 4 o'clock. I noticed that around 4 o'clock, my sugars will dip, regardless of what I do and even how much I eat. And they'll go up when I eat. Okay. So sometimes most of the time I'll try to inject before I eat. Some given amount. It's a few units. I don't take a lot of insulin. So what I've noticed is usually when somebody's a diabetic, what'll happen is as time goes on, as we age, they'll become more resistant to insulin. So they'll have to take more. And my daughter has told me about some of the prescriptions that she fills at the pharmacy for diabetics. And the average diabetic is taking a lot of insulin. It would kill me instantly if I took that much. In one dose, they take the kind of insulin that literally would stop my heart. And what I've noticed is that I'm not becoming resistant to insulin. I'm becoming oversensitive to it. I'm very sensitive to sugars, but I'm also now becoming sensitive to insulin. And the only thing I can think of is I'm becoming less of a diabetic. Something else is wrong. So I got to figure this out because I have to reduce the amount of insulin I'm taking now. But I'm also going to have to adjust my diet a little bit. So I can eat things like I've been low all evening again. And I've been trying to raise it above like 100. And now you'd think 100, 150 is normal for somebody, but not for a diabetic like me, because if there's insulin in me, 150, is it 150 on its way down? It doesn't really stay in one place. Well, I took a large part of this week off just to try to rest and try to see where my blood sugars were going, measuring it constantly. And they don't want me on one of those pumps because, well, the thinking originally was, this woman said to me, she goes, look, usually we put people on pumps and what they do is they go and eat what they would normally eat. And they don't change anything. And they don't do well as time goes on because the pump will try to inject more insulin. And if you're having a problem with it, they'll continuously eat the stuff that they would normally eat. And the pump will just inject more insulin. And it's not your insulin. First of all, insulin is bad for you. That's why sugar is bad for you. Because it's not just the sugar that's bad for you, it's the insulin. And insulin could make you fat or it could make you really skinny. It depends. It often makes people fat. And it'll burn out your body because it's a very strong hormone. She's like, I really would rather that you chart it and that you measure it and try and study and try to figure this out because most people won't do it. So I've struggled for a long time. And now it really kind of looks more like I'm taking too much insulin. I need to back off. I need to continuously adjust my diet again, get more exercise. And I don't think I'll be cured, but I think I'll be a different kind of a diabetic. And when I first got diabetes, my friend Arthur brought somebody over that he knew. And the guy brought me boxes and boxes of diabetes stuff. I mean, you know, like all of the paraphernalia that goes with it, from alcohol swabs to syringes to insulin to the test strips and the meters, and he had tons of it. And I was like, he's like, you got to meet this guy. He doesn't have diabetes anymore. He went to a different doctor, and this is one of the problems with the medical system that we have today. He went to a different doctor, and the doctor told him, I have a treatment for you. It can be dangerous. You really need to stay very close to me. It could even kill you, but it's unlikely you actually have diabetes. A lot of times what happens is for a lot of these diseases, it's even some of these so-called cancers, they're not that. It's parasites. And parasites have been the bane of human existence since the beginning. And you can get them from cats, too. Cats carry a particular parasite. And one of the things that this parasite does is it was targeted at mice and rats. So what it does is it changes the metabolism and the brain. And the brain of these animals, including us, it makes the olfactory nerve respond differently to the smell of a cat. So the mice don't fear the cat because they like the smell of a cat. But meanwhile, the cat comes out of nowhere and kills it. It's a symbiotic relationship between the parasite and the cat, which is deadly to anything else that gets infected with it. That's just one example. But stuff has been well known, and you can't even talk to doctors about this stuff. They won't hear it. You can have an infestation, and they're actually finding this as well in prostate, and in your prostate glands as you get older in prostate cancer. In many cases, they've seen these scans where it looks like cancerous tissue, but it's actually egg sacs. It's actually new growth of new parasites in your body. And they won't talk about it because all of the cures for this stuff is the kind of things that they told everybody that would kill you and you need to stay away from it when we had the goofy thing, right? They made fun of everybody. That's horse medication. Anyway, this guy, I sat and talked to him. I got all his diabetic stuff, and he told me the story. And he's like, you really should need to see this, go see this guy, because he had been a diabetic for a while, and he was getting to be at the end of his rope. I'm like, I'm just starting this career here, right? Because I was really in bad shape at the time. So I just was trying to get medical assistance because I had no health insurance. I had nothing. So I'm going to start looking into some of this stuff more now. I don't know how you would get rid of parasites without some particular treatment, and which ultimately would be somewhat toxic. So you have the quandary of if you're not in good health because of a disease and you take a treatment that is potentially somewhat toxic to kill the parasite, it could kill you, which is the same concept of cancer treatments, especially when it comes to certain chemotherapies and or even some of the oral medications. It could kill you. It's treating something completely different, which is actually the root cause. That's my rant. So I need to kind of pursue something else now, I think, in the coming year, because it obviously is a change. And I was tested for diabetes for years, and there was never any indication of any of this stuff. And it almost killed me twice. And I don't know, lately with the behavior of everything that's going on in the medical system, I don't trust a lot of these people anymore. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy, but they are trained a particular way, and that's the only way that's accepted to do. And they can't veer off. Like most doctors, they're not going to lose their medical license because you told them that you think you might have parasites or something like that. They're just going to look at you funny. They have to work on all of the standard, traditional, accepted, approved practices. Even if they will kill you and they're wrong, it doesn't matter. They're covered by insurance. And that's all they care about. So, and I've been through health issues before, and at the end of the day, each time that happened to me, like a health issue, it wasn't a doctor that cured me. It was me. I had to go figure this shit out and make changes to my life. And it looks like I'm back there again. I'm right back to that point. It says 60 degrees by the end of the week. Wow, what are you guys looking at the temperature? Yeah, what is it right now? 34. It just got cold now. Yeah. Yeah, teacher says take care. I'm trying. But, it's like I told my other doctor then, like, if I had a regular job, I'd have been fired long ago. Nobody's going to put up with somebody calling in because, I don't know, whatever your reason is. I was up all night because I almost died because my sugars went down to 50. And by the way, 40 is your brain shuts off. 54 and you're sweating and your heart is pounding. At 40, or a little over 40, your brain shuts off and you'll die. That's it. You got 10 more units to go before even your heart, somewhere around there, the heart will stop. So low blood sugar is deadly. So I was telling my ex-wife, I'm like, I got to figure this out, because that's why I stayed up all night, because it happened a couple of nights in a row. I'm like, I can't keep going through this. This will kill me. I'm like, I have to figure out what's going on. So I'm like, I'll just stay up and see what happens. But you can't work. You know, you get up the next day and you mull around a little bit. You can't work. And, you know, how much sick time are you going to get? And I remember one time I was telling, like, with my back issues, I said to this woman who, she was like, what do they call those, nurse practitioner? And I was like, what I really need is to take some time off and figure this out. She got angry. She's like, nobody can do that. Nobody does that. I'm like, well, maybe they should, because if your life is in danger from something that's wrong with you, what do you mean? We're supposed to just come to you for painkillers and medications and this and that, and we're supposed to, what, go back to the fucking slave job that we've been working all these years? And just die there, right? What do you mean? You know, there should be some kind of a provision in your health insurance, whatever. If you get really sick, I had a plan that actually covered me for that. I had life insurance and I had these other riders in case I got really ill. And, do you know, one of them, I didn't find out until later. The doctors, I was under a lot of stress. I was very ambitious. I was living up in Canada for a while, back and forth, you know, married, new house, new kid, the whole thing, trying to pay for everything. And I was getting very anxious. And I started to suffer from anxiety. And I went to the doctor, and they sent me to a place for treatment. And it was a psychiatrist that had a clinic with psychologists where they treat you. So the doctor himself sent me to this guy rather than prescribe me from a regular medical practitioner. I went to the guy, I met with the psychiatrist for 15 effing minutes, and then he assigned me to a practitioner. They gave me drug after drug after drug. Nothing worked, and everything made me sick and gave me diarrhea. And I'm like, and they told me that I have to keep taking it, which is ridiculous. I'm like, it's making me sick. It's like, it's making me angrier. I'm like, this is no good. And I remember I was taking some Valium at the time. I'm like, but this works. Why are you trying to get me off of it? Because you can't be on that. It's addictive. I said, well, what is the difference between something that is addictive and is working versus the drugs that you're giving me one after the other that are making me ill, and you tell me I have to stay on them the rest of my life, and yet they don't work? Where's the effing logic in that? So I stopped it, right? So later on, I went and sat down with my insurance adjuster, and we were looking at a plan, and one part of my plan was supposed to cover, like, stuff in case I cut my finger off or whatever. It turns out I was denied that, and no one ever said anything. And the reason why I was denied that additional life insurance coverage, it wasn't a death benefit, it was an injury benefit. I was denied it because I saw a psychiatrist without any diagnosis. They never gave me a diagnosis other than generalized anxiety. And because I saw that psychiatrist, they took that plan away from me, which would have paid for all of the shit, right, that I wound up going through. Instead, I was denied it, and they never said anything. So they'll tell you to go see somebody, but they won't check to see if that's going to backfire in your face. Tell me that's not fucking planned. The world is a little bit complicated, I get it, but you know what? They know what's going on. By the way, the pharmacy that my daughter is working for looks like he just got in trouble for, like, backdoor shit. Hold on, wait, let me see if I can just see it real quick. Yeah, this is good. Let's see. I don't know if she put it up here. I'm not going to say any names, but she goes, oh, it looks like the place I work for, yeah, is the one in the city. Yeah, they got caught, and they're being sued by Medicaid and Medicare for dipping. Right, and prescribing medications that are claimed that generally don't provide any comfort or relief to the patient, but they were billed, and it's fraud, according to them, according to New York pharmacy medical clinics with $3.7 million in prescription fraud, handing out and recommending stuff to patients because of an accident. They had, like, a car accident, whatever, and it didn't work. Yet they were billing, handing out this candy to people that wasn't helping anybody, probably damaging their bodies. Hey, Zippo, what's up? It's like, yeah, nice. So I thought that, and that's it's not the place that she works. It's the owners have another store in the city. So it's really this racket, and it can be very confusing when you're sick and you're not well and you're trying to get treatment. So these people were trying to get treatment, and they were handed a bunch of crap that didn't effing work, that their insurance is going to go up, and now the state claims it's out of money. The state claims it's millions of dollars of fraud. I don't know what's going to happen with my daughter's job. Nothing. You know why? Because there's a mechanism in place where the fucking cash transfers hands. Nobody goes to jail if you play the game right. And they get away with it. And meanwhile, we're just trying to survive and get treatment. You know, it's scary. Jansen says, I tested for high blood pressure once, and some nurse practitioner had that same approach, trying to panic me into starting on endless meds. Yeah, no thanks, I tossed the prescription. Yeah, they started me on all of these meds that are supposed to protect the kidneys and everything. So I looked into this stuff. First of all, stuff that is a blood thinner, a lot of the stuff that works on reducing blood pressure by dilating it dilates the veins and the muscles that control the veins. And how it does that is it's a derivative of snake poison, snake venom. They change it chemically somewhat, and what it does is it causes paralysis in those tissues, in those muscle tissues that control it. So they naturally just dilate. And it causes damage it actually will cause damage to your body. I've seen the studies where they did this protracted long study on the medication that they give to people for their heart, like blood thinners and the things to relax it. I think it was something like it extended the life of an average individual by 14 days. And that was only in the individuals that did not suffer from all of the other side effects, which are actually diseases, because they died from those and they suffered from them while they were taking this medication. I was like, time out. I'm not taking it. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have those other conditions. Why are you treating me for it? Because it's an accepted protocol for diabetics. And every diabetic I know dies and loses their limbs and everything else. And they look at me and they're like, how are you still alive and you haven't lost anything other than your teeth? I'm like, because I'm not doing exactly what you're telling me to do because everybody else is doing it. And look at them. They're fucking dead and missing pieces. So now, they're good people, and I like the people that I work with, but they don't press me anymore, right? They just don't press me. I appreciate what they're doing, and I would not do what I'm doing without their oversight. But they get dumbfounded. They're like, they don't understand. I'm like, because you're told what to understand. And it's not to beat them up, but they're told what's acceptable understanding, what's acceptable practice. They have no choice. They can't veer off. So, let's see. Hey, Brett, hanging in there, ready for spring. I know. Francis Lang says, hey, Arch. Yeah, almost ready for spring, because I was outside for a little while today. Plus, I got to hang out with a cool dude, right? The contractor guy that came and picked up those machines. And I think I won him over, which is nice because I could be nice to have a good relationship with a contractor. And he wasn't happy with the mechanic that he had. And, he's going to be breaking machines, but he wants to learn a little bit. He says he watches some of my videos and some others. And I just wanted to see if I can get him into just taking care of his machines a little bit. And then every 2 years, bring it to me. Like if he could, what would be good is if he could get it to the point where basic maintenance is what he does. And then every 2 years on some schedule, bring me some of your machines at different time of the year and then let me have at it. Whatever it is, let me go over it. Because I showed him, I was telling him what I did to his two snowblowers. And it's a lot of this, right? No, blah, 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 frisbee, like what my dog hears. Blah, 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 tractor, like what my daughter hears, right? And then because I had this green machine up on the table, I brought him over to that. And then I redid the blah, 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 blah. And I could point to it. And he was like, oh. I'm like, this is why we do this and why you want loop here. And don't ride on the starter motor and lean on it because, look, you burned out the starter motor. it burned the brushes in one of the other start. It literally melted the brushes into the plastic ring that holds them in with the springs around the armature and everything. It just, they got cooked and got stuck. And I tried to fix it, but it wouldn't work. I was like, this is why you want to do this and not that. And I'm like going around the whole thing. He's like, is that what you did to mine? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't even really charge you all that much. I'm like, I really could charge you a lot more, but I want his business, so I'm willing to be flexible. So that was cool. He's a nice guy. Definitely a nice guy. I'd like to work with him. He's smart. He's hardworking. He's younger. And definitely the kind of guy I'd like to work with. Want to, build a nice working relationship with him. And he's friendly, too, so most of these people I've become friends with. I love it. It's like you guys. It's so awesome. Like most of the people in this field, and even in the YouTubers like Ken and all of them and all you guys, it's like a nice friendship community thing. That's why I love the live shows. And today I listened to most of Ken's live. I pretty much caught, I'd say 90% of it. I was in and out, but I had the speakers cranked up so I could hear it. And I could kind of see a little bit more because the monitor is big enough now where, like, if you look like back out into the shop, and TJ knows, it's like you can kind of see it more. So I was enjoying that. And then I got this little guy that I can turn in any direction I want. So if I want to throw something on that, I can do that too. You had Stella rolling today? I know. She was giggling. I know. I heard. By the way, did Simone fix her teeth? It looks like she did, because she's actually, I have often said this, I don't know if she did, but I saw her smile once. And, because she's a young lady, and I've often said, she, first of all, she's into cars, right, and dirty stuff, and likes older guys. We love you. And then if she fixes her teeth, it's more like, we love you. Some more. She is cute, especially with the fixed teeth. And she's an awesome chick. I mean, because the thing is, the teeth, like, I want to get mine fixed eventually. But they won't touch me. I told you the story a couple of weeks ago. I got to go back. I'm trying to get some training for more stretching and everything and some physical therapy. And I forgot. I ate lunch. I went running over there. I forgot to inject. And I tested myself in front of the nurse lady. And it was like 400. And she went, oh, no. She's like, that is way too high. She came back like 20 minutes later. She goes, you can't touch anything in here. We cannot allow you to do anything. You can watch, but that's it. It's the same thing with the dentist. Until you're stable, because some of this work, you really need to put the person out, or at least in La La Land. But they don't know how to deal with a diabetic, because if they don't know if your sugars are going up or if they're going down, they just don't know how to deal with you. So they just like, nope, we won't touch you. You have to go into the hospital and have work done, and you have to have people that are trained in monitoring blood sugar and know what to look for. Because I've even heard of the stories of like diabetics in the hospital, and it's time for their medication, right, for the insulin. And I heard this one story when I first became a diabetic. It was here, and the nurse came in and did not read the bottle and the dosing right, and gave him too much, and instantly the guy died, because that's what happens. So a lot of people are like, no, go away. Yeah, I like her too. Yeah, I like her. Robert says, I like to see some pics of Stella when she was 25. I know. I bet she was smoking. She said something that she was a model, she said, not teen model, like a child model or something. She's a teen model. She was like a teen idol back in the day. Nice. She's a sweetheart. She's a nice person. They're both nice. And she puts up with us guys, and she does a good job of it. You got to give credit where credit's due, right? Because everybody says, women, especially the young guys, they know, like, oh, women are bad today. You got to stay away from them. They're all bad. I know there's a lot of bad ones, fellas, but there's also some decent ones out there. Like my daughter, right? Because I had to raise her, so I had to grab her by the hair every now and going, you're going to be a decent person if it kills me. And it almost did. Oh, TJ, who is Stella? Oh, TJ, you got to watch Ken Small Engines. Let's see, let me put a link. He goes, show me. Let's see. Hold on, fellas. Let's go to Ken's and let's go get the live for today, right? That just passed. And hold on. Here's Ken up right here. I'll just cross-link to his thing here. Hold on. Let's find it. Let's change screens. No, we gotta go. So here's Ken Small Engines. So it should have a live for today. Let's go to live. Yep, this is the live stream. And there's Stella. So here's Stella. Hold on. Okay. And it's not a good pick. It's not going to be a good pick because it's the free version. It's 720 and it's crap. It's crap, I tell you. It's crap. So that's Stella. Not a good pick of her. I mean, but
John Rhodes, how you doing?
I can't make it any bigger. Let's see if he makes it bigger. Hold on. Let's see. I'm just going to cruise through it. And then towards the end, I don't remember her being on like the full screen. I don't think he did that, but we'll look. See, now she's away. There she is again. The lawnmower lady. Check out her channel too. It's pretty good. She's really good mechanic among many things, actually. And the other one, the younger one. Oh, there's Hank. What's he doing? Mick's mowers hats. Henry, what are you doing? Nice. He's got hobby motor, Mick's mowers, EP. Nice.
You're right, Wayne. There is a distinctive defect in the
yeah, we saw pictures of him when he was younger too. That came a little later, so I might accidentally bump into. There's Mick there, on the left here. There's Brett, hobby motor. Okay, and I don't know who this is. Is that Hank's place right there? Estella, Ken. Let's see. Let's go big again. Let's see. That's Pate. That's Jason. He lives not far from me on the island. He's having a problem with the electrical system. Did you ever figure that out, fellas? Brett, do you remember if he figured that out? Because he was into the wiring and everything. That thing was a mess, though. That machine was, it wasn't a basket case. It was just a mess. Kind of like the snowblower on my table. Yep, there's Wayne. Okay, so Mick's mowers. He's wearing the EP hat. That's Wayne's son. That's his channel. Oh, there's Bruce. There's Bruce down there. All right. Oh, showing off his bod. Whoa, Bruce, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, these guys are crazy. Hold on. Let me just go forward a little bit. Oh, there's Robert. There's RM.
You're good. I mean, the orange stuff, it's...
Oh, I'll go a little bit further.
Chipper shredder.
I'm talking about the chipper shredder, which I have one in my backyard, just like Brett's.
That was wow.
Let's see. All right, there's another shot of her.
I have no idea. Carmen likes to yell at me.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I am. Absolutely.
There, you want to see? I got an email from a guy. Hold on.
Have your seat, Ken.
Let's see. My Troy Bill is a 2019 sit-down tractor pointing stick.
Is 2019 sit-down tractor, 42-inch deck. Shoots blue smoke from the muffler every time I start the engine, and the oil level is like it shouldn't be.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? I remember hearing this, yelling about this.
Hold on. Well, what you reply is, send me $300 and I'll reply with a fix.
Yeah. Send me money.
Like it should be.
Let's see. Let's find what's her name. She came in at the end.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
That's not a banana. That's my nose.
Good night, Mrs. Calabash.
Oh, hold on.
Let's see. Oh, there she is. Okay, this is Simone. What's her name again, fellas? What's her channel?
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah, Klaus's comeback was good. What's her channel again? I want to shout it out. She's over from the UK. Yeah, see, I think she did fix one of her teeth. There was only a couple of them that she just needed to be tweaked.
Mike, come on up, buddy.
There's John.
Come on up.
See, her smile does look different, but I'm not getting a good shot of her.
And you know what?
Come on, Ken, you got to get the shots of the ladies, right? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but
You know, what are you doing? You got to put the ladies up. The hell with the guys. They're ugly. That's another shot.
Smell that? I'm like, yeah, well, when you're visually impaired, your other sister kick you.
That's Robert going on about something. There's Robert over here on the left, fellas. Right here on the left, Robert. That's Robert in the channel. That's RM. Oh, see, she's laughing. See.
My mum got me to download this app. It's hilarious. There are 75 different file sounds.
Klaus's laugh is like infectious. It's Klaus's laugh. Hold on. Let's go back to Klaus's laugh. Wait.
My mum got me to.
I gotta sample that. Wait. Let me turn it up.
I should use that as Duchess when there's someone in front of me.
She's making fart sounds through her phone. Okay, and the guys are losing it, right? Listen to.
Oh.
It's the one.
Listen to that. We gotta sample that laugh.
It's the one that's perpetrating. What the hell?
My mum got me to download this app.
Shit!
It's
I'm gonna
hilarious.
crap my pants.
There are 75 different file sounds.
75 fart sounds.
Oh.
There you go.
And she's gonna try to play all of them.
I tried to.
Hold on, I'm coming back. Oh, that just hurt my face. I gotta take a break. It just hurt my face. Oh man. Oh, that was funny. So yeah, there's the crew. There's the other crew, right? I raised it at the end. Yeah, I'm you got to be careful cranking it up too loud because it's rough audio. It's not good clean audio. You know, it's a live show through the 720p of that crappy program that everybody uses. You know, Sound Trench Yard, right? It's just horrible yard. It's not the only one out there. I think he actually rented it for a while, and I don't know if he still does, but you could see how soft the video is. It's pretty bad, and the sound is not easy because most people are on their phones. They're not actually using like their video equipment or anything, and the audio is all over the place. Some people are louder, and it's hard to manage that. But that was pretty. He says, why are there so many people? Because that's what he does. That's his format. I call it. It's the all up or Hollywood Squares kind of format where some people do that. Some people just put up a couple of people, but his is more like he'll bring up everybody that he can. And if you are subscribing to the software, you can have 1080p, a little bit better control, and you get I think up to 10 people or something like that at a time. So it's like a big Zoom conference. That's really what a lot of these things are for. They're like, you can do it with Zoom. You can do it on a bunch of programs you can do it with. I just don't like that format because so many people do it, and he does it on Saturday, and he's going to be better at it than I am. And it's like, I don't want to step on toes. And I figure, well, I'll just do something a little bit different. But eventually, I'd like to maybe this year, I'll bring up like a co-host or something, for at least part of the time, like of a co-host or just a couple of people. It's a little bit more subdued, and it's a little easier for me to interject and show something that I want without boring the people that are up on the panel, because it gets boring. There are those moments when people are obviously laughing and having a really good time. Sometimes they fight, which is nice. Sometimes I get banned, which is nice, But then there are moments when like nothing happens, and it's you can't predict any of that. So it's very ad lib throughout the whole thing. So you don't really know what's going to happen. You just don't, which is part of the attraction to it. You still need to do a show, Arch. I know. I eventually will. I will. I'll get to it. I've been trying to get to a number of things, but then like this week, I was like, well, all bets are off. I'm not doing anything. right? If I'm not alive and healthy, then none of the rest of the stuff matters. So I've struggled with health issues with myself and my daughter for years, on and off, and almost killed the both of us. So nowadays, whenever I'm starting to feel a little bit under sorts or whatever, I'm just like, the heck with it. You know, money's nice, but what good is it if you're dead or if you're ill, right? You have to take care of yourself. And I'm a bit of a workaholic, and that's the problem. It's like you'll do your own self in. And at that point, the only person you can blame is yourself. You know, so I got to slow down. I mean, I just turned 60, so now it's time to slow down, fellas. I'm getting old. Bleach says, my friend gifted me a bench grinder. I have to figure out how to mount it to the bench. Nice. Just put it on a piece of plywood, screw it into the piece of plywood, make the plywood as big as you need it, and then you can go take that and then figure out where you want to put it. And like mine tend to float. I even have one that I clamp to the workbench outside because a lot of times I like to make the mess out there. I love working outside whenever possible. And sometimes I film it and sometimes I don't. There was something else I wanted to show you guys before I take off. Let me see if I can find it. And that was fun. That was definitely fun. Oh, that almost gave me a headache. It was that kind of thing where, you know, laughing and hurting my brain. Yeah, I get a kick out of those guys. Oh, well, you want to see an outtake? I'll show you an outtake. Let's see. I'll set it up. This is Christina. I said, do some. I'm already recording. Oh, I gotta find it. Where'd it go?
Oh my God!
All right, so you just go. Oh, it's on this
Everybody,
one.
welcome
to this episode of Arch's Garage. Stay tuned.
Hi everybody! Welcome to Arch's Garage.
Hold on. I gotta move it. Let me move it here. All right, fellas. All right, so this I gotta move stuff around. It came up on the wrong monitor.
Wait, we can't take.
I'm already recording.
Oh my God.
Hold on. I'll cue it up. She actually lost some weight from this picture. My daughter's gonna be mad. What are you doing showing? I'm like, well, you're gonna be showing anyway, so what's a big deal?
Wait, we can't take.
I'm already recording.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, so you just go. Everybody, welcome to this episode of Arch's Garage. Stay tuned.
Hi everybody! Welcome to Arch's Garage. Stay tuned for this episode, and we'll see you in a few.
That was excellent. Okay, we're gonna do one more.
Father like daughter.
Yeah. All right, that was awesome.
Okay, what? Where do I look? The camera? Camera.
Right up here. See?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. What do I say?
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Arch's Garage, and I will see you on the next one.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching Arch's Garage, and I will see you on the next one. Is that good? Oh
nice!
My God. I need to watch
You wanna see
it.
it back?
Yeah, please.
All right,
This
move,
is
move,
terrible.
move. Let's see. I'm going to show you my niece. I love. Let me show you my niece. She's a natural. You ready? Wait, hold. Wait.
no.
Uh-oh, what happened? All right. Let me just bring this down a little bit. Okay, just do a quick ad lib.
Oh my God.
Camera's up there.
Oh no, but you put me on the spot now. Hold on, you're gonna like edit it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Kinda. No.
Hey guys, welcome to Arch's Garage, where we work on things and we break them and we tinker them and we make mistakes, because that's what we're all about here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so the next one will be. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Arch's Garage. We'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment.
You're so good at this. So charismatic. I could not.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Easy, Johnny.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Arch's Garage. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications every time he uploads another one. And who knows, maybe I'll be back as another guest. Thanks for having me.
Nice. That was good. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I actually used that one in one of the videos once, and I just have to find the right place for it. But those cool. That's cool. Down boy, Brett says, yeah. Let's see. What about Chickanic? Oh, I can use a welding clamp to bench. Yeah. TGM Chickanic. No, it's not Chickanic. It's that's a different girl. She's good too, but that's different. I'll put the names at some point in the description. I'll go through it, drop them in there, and I'll remind me next time. But I'll put everything in the description. Johnny Brothers says the problem with a bench grinder is you find out you need 3 of them: coarse and fine stones, one on one, wire brushes on another, and a buffing pads on the third. That's why I have 3 of them. Yep. And they're in different locations because I don't have a spot where I can line them all up. Yep. And I still use my other grinders and everything. So, yeah, I got my buffing with the wire wheel, and then I've got my 2 different grinders with different grit stones on them. So, yeah, you end up with 3 of them. That's the best way to have them set up. And then you could make attachments for them to do different things, like sharpen drill bits and things like that. She did do it very well, Brett. Yeah, she is a honey. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, too. Yeah, Rental says she's got confidence. She does. She has like a natural, a lot of young people do. Like my daughter's ex-boyfriend, like I don't know if it's TikTok or I don't remember which platform, but he does videos. It's just not on YouTube. They're shorter composites, skateboarding, surfing, the cool car. He works at a place where there's a lot of cool cars. He does a lot of the detailing and everything. He makes shorts for, maybe it's Instagram, for his boss and stuff like that. But it's just not YouTube. He says, I turned 45 this year. Been on YouTube since I was 31. Wow, bro. Congrats. Happy birthday, bro. That's so cool. Yeah, Bree is Chickanic. Hooked on Classics, yes. So that's the one, Hooked on Classics. Let me drop a link. And also the Lawnmower Lady. Let me go find it. Let's see. And I'll put it in there. I might as well do it now. So let's see. Close this out. That would be videos. Let's see if I have her. No, that's not coming up that way. Let's see if we can find a different way. Because I just have way too many. Hooked on Classics. There's more to her name. I guess it's coming up as something else. Let me see if I can just search through my stuff real quick. Let's see. Yeah, I have too many. Yeah, I'll do it later because I have so many people to search through. It's more to her name than that. Let's see. I have like almost 1,000 people. When they're more active, they're the people that come up to the top of your list, or the people that you've looked at more recently. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. It's not popping out at me. She's got that Ford, what is it, Cortina. I think it is, or something like that she's into. And she's been doing a lot of work to it. She announced today that she's taking a course in welding, which is really nice. And she can make some money doing that, too. I mean, there's some people on here that I haven't looked at in a while, too. They're down at the bottom. Yeah, I'm not going to see it. Yeah, I don't see it off the top. I just have too many. All right. That's for another time. Super says, I have the one in the garage plus the chain grinder. Yep. This year Zippo says, this year marks 17 years on YouTube. Time flies. It really does. That's so long. Like Zippo, like you're like one of those people that's OG. Like you guys, congrats to you because, the homage, right? Because you guys had to invent the genre. I mean, it didn't exist really before that. We follow along and we take ideas and steal and stuff. This is my 4th year. And the more I watch others and the more I do it myself, like when you first start, like the best advice I would have is like steal and cheat. Just watch other people and try to emulate and steal. And then because there's no guidebook. There just isn't any manual. And you can watch people that'll tell you what to do, and that's fine. They'll tell you all about statistics and all the other stuff and the mechanics behind it. That's good. And then you can watch all the people that show you how to point a camera and what a million different varieties of cameras that they think you should buy because they're getting paid to tell you that you should buy it, and you'll get screwed. And at the end of the day, you have to find something format, and then if you do that for a little while, you realize, this is all crap. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And then the lights go off, and you're like, you got to find your niche, and then steer towards that, and then just have fun. Just have fun and learn, and always try to do better, but mostly have fun. Enjoy it. Because you could emulate other people, and that's good for a framework, but you can't be like that person. Why would you want to, even if they were awesome? It doesn't matter. Well, you can't. So, but you emulate it because that's what we do in class and whatever, and we emulate. That's just to get the basis, the basics down, It's just, it's hanging there. Hey, you beat fighting the fight and winning. Good to hear, Zip. Because Bleach asked him how he's doing. I made over 2,000 videos over the years. Oh my God. That includes like a lot of your like live hangouts too, so. Okay, so chatting. Rob made mention of Yanagi, and I know, I heard that. I know. You guys are on the fart thing and the belch thing. I'm not that too into the belch thing as much, because that guy is almost disturbing. He just does it too often to people. It's like Mike is here. Let's see what Mike says. He goes, what's up, Arch? I bought the Simplicity because of Zippo 10 years ago. Wow. Yup. So my friend Mike, Zip, if you've seen some of the vids on his Sunstar, and then the one that he bought, which is the Simplicity Sovereign. All right. So that's Mike. It's my friend Mike. He doesn't like to be part of the whole, YouTube space and everything. So he texts me all the time, which is kind of cool. So he's like, I bought the Simplicity because of Zippo 10 years ago. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. It's such a cool machine too. That's the other thing I got to get up here. So as soon as I'm done with this machine, I got to do the mini bike for Mikey. I got to finish that, and then I would like to do a little bit to the motorcycle, but I also got to get to the Simplicity Sunstar of Mike's. So those are the projects that are like on the immediate rail. And I want to try to get all that stuff done really before the lawnmower season starts, so I can get a jump on that, Let's see, holy cow. Let's see, Brian says, Bravo says, holy cow, Bleach. You not much more than half my age and done 10 times as many videos. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Zip says, thanks. So am I waiting to get scheduled for surgery to hopefully get my voice back. Awesome. Yeah, the surgery is, I think, is like the best of, other than, I think the two best forms of medicine in the United States would be emergency medicine, which is the best probably anywhere. And the surgeons. If you get a good surgeon, they're really good at what they do. You know, they slice and dice and do all kinds of stuff, but they'll fix you up. And you won't even know it. You'll come out of it and you'll be like, oh, am I done now? It's kind of cool. So I've helped a lot of channels get off the ground. Yeah, definitely, Zep. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is like, that's the other thing I think, I can't speak to other communities other than from what I've heard of some of the people I follow in other genres that I enjoy. But like I was listening to a guy today, he's actually a younger guy, and he's been doing it for a long time. And he was talking about, because he does like camera stuff and everything, but he's a whack job. He doesn't do it anything like all of these other camera people do camera shows. He's a whack job, and he's just who he is. And he's very good at it, but he's like, a lot of it is because of certain people that helped him out along the way, and even more recently. So, yeah, and this community is very helpful. Maybe other than the car community, I can't think of too many of the communities. Some of the homesteading is nice, but they're a little bit more remote and like placed all over the place, and they do help each other out, but I don't ever really see them get on like shows where they all hang out and joke around and all that. You don't see a lot of live shows from those people, and that could be more because of they're further away from the technology that they need to connect. Because some of the people that I've watched over the years that actually started homesteading, they would talk about stories of they would shoot all their video. And then if they could do a video once a week, that was awesome. And they had to go into town to essentially do their uploading and all of that. And they would do their shopping and whatever else. And they would get their mail and all this other nonsense. And then they would go disappear back to the homestead for a week and do their thing. So you can't do a live show. You know, you can't. It gets difficult. Spoiler alert. The unboxing is my new ultrasonic cleaner. Sweet! He was asking me about that, fellas. He was asking me about, do you think it's a good idea? I'm like, the price is, I mean, I can clean anything without an ultrasonic cleaner. But I have the slop sink and I have the degreaser, which I almost never use. I need to clean it out. It's completely dried and it looks like a mountain range in there now. But for the price of some of these ultrasonic cleaners, they've come down so much. And we were joking about the dishwasher. Like I wanted to set one up outside. Just have like an outside dishwasher where you put your car parts and your lawnmower parts in. You load it up with detergent. You shut the door. You turn it on. You go and you walk away. And you come back and it's clean. Kind of like the block cleaners that they use, like the machinists have for cleaning engine blocks and stuff. But, you know, cheap. And the prices have come down so much. It's like it's on a list of something I want to get, but I want to get something a little bit bigger so I can clean bigger parts. But even still, the prices have come down a lot. It's like the one good thing about it, like even in this world where everything's getting more expensive, that got cheaper. Yeah, totally, Bleach. So that's a good spoiler alert, fellas. So congrats. I can't wait to see that one. Bleach says, YouTube has been therapeutic for me. And he says, man, what was that bud? I feel like I'm in my 30s again. He had some sweet bud. Yeah, actually, the guy that was here today, he gave me a little bit of bud. I'm like, I don't really smoke it. I'm like, but he wanted to give me a tip, and he had some of that. I'm like, that's nice. It actually was very nice stuff. I actually tried a little bit of it. It was very relaxing. It wasn't hectic or anything. And I like it for when I like either run out of painkillers or... Like the other thing that happened to me 2 weeks ago is I noticed this because I've talked to my pain doctor. I'm like, I can't take ibuprofen anymore. And I just tried it again and it ruined me. Like I couldn't poop for 3 days just for one little 250 milligram ibuprofen. And I know how dangerous ibuprofen is. And it is. And if you have if you suffer from chronic pain, a chronic condition, you can't take it. You take it for a little while and it works really good, but then it will F you up. And I'm like, I'm done with it. So I have to find something else that will help. And it can't be that, because whatever benefit it might give me, I'm still not really recovered from it. I get stomach pains, then I just don't poop for days. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now I have this problem too. Side effects. They're really good medications, but none of these medications are really meant for chronic conditions, long-term use. It's the same thing even with the insulin, because it's not our insulin. It's synthetic. It's made by bacteria. It's synthesized. And they're really good for acute or treatment to save your life, or maybe even for cancer or for certain things. Without insulin, there may come a day where I won't need insulin. But to get to that day, I wouldn't be here without it. So some of these, I don't mean to poo-poo the whole, I don't want to make it sound like I poo-poo the whole system. No, there's flaws. And we step into the flaws. That's bad. Let's see. Hold on. I want to get back to bleach real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Bravo says, I've used the dishwasher in the house to clean transmission parts. Don't tell my ex-wife. She'd still come beat me. Yeah, and to shit on me for it. Yeah, well, there's a picture up on my wall. When I had my apartment, I was doing the motor for the Nova. I had a very small area out in the yard and a little tiny shed. And I used to bring the parts into the kitchen, in the little dining table. And I would clean him and do some things to him. And one day I wanted to coat the tops of the pistons with that ceramic barrier. And we had bought a new stove when I built the apartment. And it was like a really, really good electric stove. And it had a self-cleaning option on it. And it had an excellent temperature controller on it, like to the degree. And I was reading it's like a ceramic coat, and I was reading the bottle, and it wanted a very specific temperature. I'm like, I can do that. So I laid out all of the pistons, put the coating on, did it as per instructions, put the pistons on the rack, shoved it into the oven, turned the thing on, and me and my friend, right, popped open a beer and lit up a doob, right? And a little while later, right before it was done, the lady comes home. She's like, what's that smell? I'm like, nothing. We're just having a little bit of bud, hanging out. She's like, no, that's not the smell. What's going on? And she's like, is the oven on? I'm like, it's almost done. And she looked in there. I'm like, you can't go in there. Like, it was my pistons. And, I took that motor apart a number of times over the years to do other things, even here. And the coating was still on the top of the pistons. So you do what you got to do, right? You just get it done. Yeah, I hear you. Mine is a Viva 3-liter, around $80. Yeah, and that's nice. I got to lay out like a 3-liter and see what it feels like. And like the overall size. I want to look at that model. So don't forget to put that model in the description and everything, Brett, when you do it, because I want to take a look at that. I'm sure everybody does too. And I just want to get a feel for its size and just think about like what I would put in it. Like what would be, because I don't want to overbuy, and I certainly don't want to underbuy. I don't need this monstrosity, because I don't have the money for that anyway. But I want something nice, See, Bleach says, I worry about my body pain. I have to stop the small engine someday. Yeah, yes and no. Blood Nose says, hey, Blood Nose, I only do Bud Light. Dilly! Yeah, we got to play that before I go. Bleach says, I just bought a yellow jacket stool so I don't have to sit on the... Yeah, excellent. You do... Yeah, excellent. Yep, pads, stools, protect your body. Bro says, I got a 6-liter after trying several sizes. That one works best for me. It's kind of what I was saying to Brett. I'm like, I think I really want something a little bit bigger. But for what Brett wants to do, I think it's a great size. Yeah, post the link or message me. Either way, I would do both. But Brett, let's see. Bleach said, it's like YouTube is a therapeutic. When I was really ill, and I was trying to recover and deal with everything, I had no money, I started the YouTube channel. I thought to myself, here you are, right? You skinny-ass white fuck. You lost all this freaking weight. Now your teeth are falling out. Your hair's going off the top of your head. You're an effing mess. Your life is coming apart. And you want to do what? You want to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, yeah, why not? This is the conversation I'm having. I'm like, yeah, well, no better time than the present. And because when I started to go back to working on the mowers and those other machines and the YouTube channel, it really was like a therapeutic. And sometimes I even say to myself that I kind of feel like YouTube kind of like saved my life in a way. And it's not to be melodramatic or anything, but a man's got to do something. And if you're in a bad way, the worst thing you can do is do nothing. You do what, and because I could, like when I first started trying to work on stuff, my eyes were all fucked up. I couldn't see out of them properly. I could only be on my feet for a few hours a day. I didn't have any energy. I had no strength. I was like a mess, and I was in pain. And diabetes hurts. Actually, it is painful in a way. It's this weird pain, and you get thirsty, and it's just you can't satiate what's wrong with you. So I'm like, this might be a good thing. This might actually be a good thing. You should try this. And I get self-conscious. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to be out there, look like shit. You know, I'm obviously not in my prime. You know, I'm a mess. Because you got these two sides going at it. I'm like, so fucking what? Like, you might actually enjoy it. No, but I might be, you know, yeah, but you might actually enjoy it. No, but it turns out I enjoyed it a lot. And I enjoy doing it. And I met you guys and all these other cool people, and I had fun. And there are people that yell at me and go, Arch, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You suck. Like, who cares? And I sucked really bad. Like, my first videos for like a year were the worst YouTube videos out there. They were horrible. But I started to get a little bit better, and I got some new equipment. That short I played, right, the music short, that was that little piece of shit Canon point and shoot with 2 AA batteries and 720p, built-in microphone. It was a real tinker toy, yucca toy. I mean, but it still is a Canon. I mean, it took nice pictures, but the video was horseshit, and the audio was horrible, and the coloring of the camera was like orangey red, and everything was always dim, and I didn't have enough lights, and this is a nightmare. But I did it anyway, and I enjoyed it. I still do. Yeah, let's see. I'll post a link, or can I message you? Yeah, I don't do bigger carbs. Only one at a time, so 3 liter will be enough. Yeah, definitely. 3 liters should be enough. Stella has a 3 liter, and it suits her needs. Yep. For a lot of the small engine stuff, but I know I'm going to want to play with cars and bigger tractors and bigger things because I can't help myself. And I'm going to want to do that at some point, right? I'm not going to be able to control myself. As you guys can see. Johnny says, yeah, small engines, 3 liters should be perfect. I do the Holly 4150s and 4160s, so this one works great for me. Yeah, good. Yeah, because they're pretty meaty, you know. You know, as you know, you want them totally submersed. And that should be cool. Let's see, Brett sent me. He sent me the link, which I can't really open because I don't really have any internet out here. It's coming from the house. Yeah, here's the link. It actually worked tonight. See if it'll blow up. Yeah, it's starting to come up. Yeah, you can fit a lot in there. All your chains and everything. I guess the 6 liter would, if that's like $80, a 6 liter should maybe be twice that, $160, so for well under $200. Yeah, that'd be good. And what I was thinking for the 6 liter, like for now, because I don't use my pressure my slop tank all that much. I like to use the wash tank, like the wash basin tank, slop sink, for a lot of things. And I don't use the degreaser tank as much, unless I'm doing something in particular. A lot of times, what I would do with it, what I wanted to do is convert it again, where you may have a little bit of cleaning solution in the bottom. Then there's the thing that you can, it's like a tray that you put stuff on top of that sits slightly above the water. And then the pump is optional. And then what I'd like to do sometimes is I like to take my wire wheel or whatever and go and scrub and then a little quick wash to just, spray some stuff. It kind of captures the stuff that gets flung around. And I just drain out the little bit in the bottom to what's underneath. So I've been kind of fooling around with that concept of it. Now, because if I leave junk in it, it will go dry and all the junk gets encrusted like it is now, and then I won't touch it. So I'm like, if I change the way I'm using it, I can put a 6-liter on that top tray because it'll be dry. I can put the 6-liter onto it. I can plug it in. I can wash in there. And if I have something else, I can take it off if I really need to until I find a proper place for it. Because I don't know where to put anything else at this point. I don't have a place to actually put this thing. So it's another reason why I haven't bought it. Yeah, I can't see it on the phone, though. I can't read things on phones. I have to put it on my computer. So I'll have to you can send it to my Facebook if you want, because then I can see it. Well, actually, is that where you sent it? Yeah, you did. Good. So it'll come through here. Here, let me show. Yeah, that's right. Here, let's go. Let's see. It should have came to here. Yeah, here we go. Hold on. I'll open it up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Vevor Professional Ultrasonic Cleaner. Easy to use with digital timer, blah, blah, blah. Renegade does a lot of stuff for Vevor. By the way, Renegade channel. He does a lot of tool reviews and everything, so he gets sent a lot of this stuff. And he does a lot of stuff for Vevor. Let's check the pics. Professional cleaning. Efficient transducer technology. 3-liter. Humanized design. What the hell does that mean? They went from ergonomic to humanized. That's right, because they're getting ready for all the non-humans now. It's true. So now we have to be called something different. Yeah, you could use it in so many different ways, which is one of the nice things about it. Yeah, that's nice. Let's look at the... Oh, wow, the 6-liter, fellas, is $117. It's 10% off. And the 10-liter is $149. See, here... See, they don't really give you... Like, put it next to something that I would recognize. You know, as like what the size would look like. Yeah, and the 10-liter is a little bit bigger, but it's now $149. These things used to be $300 and shit. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see. I have neuropathy. Let's see. A small storage should be perfect. And yeah, the 4150s. That's about the size of something I'd want to clean. A little bit longer, and as you can see, these tanks are kind of oblong. And a little bit bigger than the size of that. And I think maybe 6 or 10-liter would be perfect. Let's see. Bleach says, I have neuropathy in my legs. Oh, I remember that. I went through that. Yeah, it got bad. My first year of YouTube, was fun. I still look at those videos. Nice. Zip says, neuropathy sucks, Bleach. I've got it in my hands and my feet. Yeah. Yeah, I got rid of that stuff. That they asked me about that. Like, it got really bad when I wasn't being treated properly. And one of the ways I do that, I work with that. And for years, too, at my back, I had a lot of problems with cramps. These micro cramps. I still get them. They become really bad, like night terror cramps, where your like calves lock up and everything. But I get the micro cramps, and they're micro because you can't really feel them all the time. I know they're there, and I was explaining this to one of the pain guys, and he went and I said, "It's happening now, but you're not gonna understand it." So he did a quick test, and he went down my leg, down by my calf, and he touched something a certain way, and it triggered a full one. And I went, whoa, and I was in that like freak out scenario. But what I found is a lot of it is nutritional. And because I drink coffee, I like coffee. Coffee will, any acidic thing or coffee or like beverages, like sodas and stuff, they have phosphoric acid in them. You will leach out your magnesium, your zinc, and your calcium. And that's partly why my teeth got damaged, because that started to happen with the diabetes. All of that came together at once. And they don't do good blood tests. They just don't. You have to pay for blood tests on your own if you want some of these blood tests. So I started treating myself with all those things, and the neuropathy went away. The cramps went away. I still have some other issues because there's been damage done, but a lot of that has gone away. And then I add to that vitamin D3, additional zinc, because it keeps the coof away. And you need it. And the minimum vitamin D3 level that they talk about, that's just not enough. Pretty much any vitamin mineral standard that they've laid out in just allopathic medication and medicine is the bare minimum amount. To be therapeutic or to actually be healthy, you need much higher levels. And I try to work towards that. But when you're deficient, like I was deficient in vitamin D3, so was my daughter with Crohn's. And it took us almost 2 years to get just to the levels that are considered to be normal. Because when your body starts to get beat down and you get ill, your processes don't work right. So you just pee it and crap it out. So whatever you try to do health-wise, it doesn't really work right away. And the only way you know that is you have to go for repeated blood tests to figure out what's going on. Let's see. The 6 liter is 118, I know. Bleach says, yeah, I did. I was selecting the size on that page, Brett. I don't know if, did you see that? Is Lyrica. I'll have to look into that. What is is that a drug? Zip? I've heard of that. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, Lyrica, yeah. Side effects, warnings, and drugs. Yeah, that stuff will help, but that's not a cure. It will help, but all of those things, yeah, because diabetic nerve pain, which I have, spinal cord injury, which I have, right, and pain after shingles, often caused by, but reactions can be suicidal thoughts, serious breathing problems, yeah, see, because it causes problems. So it's only good for the immediate, but for the long term, there's a reason why it's happening to us, and you have to get to the reason, and they won't help you do that. They'll just give you these drugs, and they'll help for a little while, but you'll get worse, and other problems will develop from these drugs. That's why I just said, time out. Once I stop the fire, because what's good about allopathic medication is, and medicine, is if there's a fire, you have to put the fire out. But you have to figure out, well, now, why is it still smoldering? What caused it? Because if you don't do that, you're going to get sick worse later on, and you'll be miserable and you'll die. And that's the ultimate thing is they just don't solve the problem. They never tell you. They don't have a fucking cure. They really don't cure anything. They just don't. They treat everything, and if it goes away, they call it submission, and they threaten you and tell you it's going to come back. We just have to keep checking you. Really? No. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. You can see Bleach says, I had a Predator engine sold to a person. He put it on his mini bike. Yeah, those are sweet. Bleach says the bud helps him, but I steal a touch of it. He says, can I clean my weed bowl? Yeah, you can clean your weed bowl in the ultrasonic cleaner. Think 2 liter bottles, Arch. Yeah, I know, right? That's a good idea. I'll have to see if I have anything laying around that's in a 2 liter bottle and lay them out. We don't really drink anything in plastic. Like, we don't buy... I don't drink anything that comes from a plastic bottle because the BHA and all the other crap that's in there. So we just got rid of all of that. There's so much shit in the food and everything. I'm like, I smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. That's my thing. Like everything else, I try to get rid of. It's like my daughter. There was like, why should my daughter at such a young age have Crohn's disease and suffer so and almost die? Nobody had anything like that when I was a kid. There were no like massive, like all the other stuff that's going on today. Not just the bowel diseases, but all of these other mind diseases from people that are like hyperallergenic to peanuts. I know why that happened. I actually know why that happened. People that have other brain disorders like what do they call those? Asperger's and the other one, right? I kind of know why. Like they won't let anybody answer that question, but it was never so prevalent. So many of these things, 1 in 3 people get cancer now. That was never the case. I'm not saying cancer didn't exist or these other things didn't exist, but they were rare and it took a long time. And kids didn't have all these other. My friend Liz's girls, right? Her one girl's got something very similar. She's got like a celiac disease. Well, what the F? That's not right. Why should she have that? Nobody I knew had anything like that. We drank out of hoses. You know, garden hoses. See, Rental says, engineering, Zippo, he goes, I want to add some of your videos when you're starting engines. Yeah. I love the startups. Yeah, the dry starts, will it runs. Because it is fascinating, Rental, because it's fun to watch something start, especially if it hasn't run. Yup. I used to get cars when I was younger, the cars that I wanted for parts or even the ones that I wanted to fix and fool around with, and they didn't run. That was like the first thing. Even if I wasn't going to use the engine, I'm like, we got to make it run. We got to hear it run. We got to make it run. We got to make it smoke. Yeah. Yeah, my thighs cramp up, he says. Yeah, that's something's causing that. Zippo says, I like doing the old cold start videos. Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, they are a lot of fun. I don't do enough of those. Let's see. Zip says, it used on patients with fibromyalgia, but works good on people with neuropathy. Yup. Let's see. Hey, Ken. Wait, is Ken here? Oh, yeah, Ken's here. Zip on the small engine repairs. Yup. He'll get back to it. Just hang in there. I was watching some Zippo stuff. I was watching some of your old flathead Briggs stuff, and more recently I was just watching that. And what else was I watching? Some of the stuff. I sometimes go back over some of my favorites that I like. Like there's certain things that I like, certain engines that I like, certain things I just like to see them run again. Let's see, Mr. Roll. Teacher said, what works good for neuropathy? Basically that, what Zippo said, the Lyrica, that can help. But if you want something more natural, then you need to figure out what you're missing in your diet. Usually it's minerals. Let's see. According to scans, my doctors, I'm showing this cancer. Who's boss? That's good. Just keep yourself as strong as you can and as rested as you can. See, Ken says, they say we all have cancer. It's just what triggers it. Yeah. Well, sometimes it comes and your body gets rid of it. So that's the thing too. It's what when your body is triggered to get rid of it before it like becomes a problem or metastasizes. That's probably why sometimes you don't feel well. A lot of that is when your body's not feeling well, it's usually because it's fighting something off. Like it's trying to repair something or it's fighting something off. And it's telling you that there's something wrong, but we just are not trained in to know what it is that you need to do to help yourself along. We wait for it to get worse, and then we wait to go to the doctor. And then by then, it's a problem. It's a big problem. We don't know how to recognize the signs. He says, I have to get motivated when it's warm to do garage things. Yeah, or just put warm clothes on. Rental says, I grew up in a moldy house, if that makes any difference. It can. Sometimes it can actually improve your immune system. He says, I still work in mold. Britt says, I ordered that ultrasonic cleaner tonight. Nice. Been watching Tarot on YouTube. Yeah, he's funny. Ken says, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. Yep. I went with the Frito like Stella uses. Bravo says, I don't know. At my age, I have absolutely zero health issues. I feel for you guys. I think my health is because my mom made me eat turnip greens as a kid. That could be. There's a lot of goodness in turnip greens. Zipper says, yep, Ken, that's what my oncologist explained to me. Cancer was due to my career in factory work environments. Yeah, I think I got exposed to something as well. Yeah, and I think one of the things was chlordane I was exposed to at one point, and I didn't realize how bad it was. And I got asthma after it when I was younger. I always had a little touch of it, but it got really bad right after it, and I couldn't get rid of it for a couple of years. Eventually, I got rid of it. And it still will come back a little bit, but nothing like it was. Like I was in overall physically good shape, and I could have an asthma attack 2 hours out on a mountain bike ride and have a serious asthma attack. And a lot of health problems started right after like the chlordane incident. Another time it started when I got infected in the hospital with staph infection, and it was really wiping me out for like 2 years because I had oral surgery and somebody wherever touched something or I got staph in the hospital, and it just was brutal. So I think sometimes we come into contact with things, even at a younger age, and it's in your body. Like a lot of these things don't leave. Let's see. Ken says, I enjoyed Zippo's Delco regulator vids. Yeah. That's what I like about Zippo. He does like different things. It says, having worked at Delco and having been the guy who remanufactured the SG, yeah, it was a lot of fun to trek down memory lane. Yeah. Ken says, my daughter got stage 4 Hodgkin's after she got mono when her immune system was compromised. See, that's what I mean, right? It's your immune system takes like a big hit from something, from one insult, which cascades into something else. I say, yeah, Arch, me with the sepsis. Yeah, yep. My mother died of sepsis, and she got it. And this is the thing, like when she got older, she went to go, we took over the house, and she went up the block into, I hate to say it, but it was like an old age home. And her friends were living there, and it was assisted living. So you had to be ambulatory. My mother still drove. But, nurses would come and help people out. And they had the community center and everything. It was a beautiful place. And she was living there. And then it was, I want to say it was around the time of like the beginning of the Obama years with all the changes in insurance and everything. They changed her insurance. And she got an HMO. And she got some quack doctor who started to put her on all of these medications. And my mother started to see spiders and flies and spots and all kind. And they gave her more stuff because they thought she was psychotic. And they just then she thought they kept giving her more drugs. And it was then like you have dementia. She got so sick, she wound up in the hospital and died of sepsis. And we went back and looked through all the medications, and this is another reason why I'm so avid against a lot of this shit. My sister, my brother, and myself sat down and looked up all the contraindications. She did not need all these medications. The fucking asshole killed her because of the HMO, because of the change of insurance, because of the protocol. Same thing they were doing in the hospitals during the CVID with the nonsense that they would do. It makes me so fucking angry because I had to watch my mother go through this, and I was young and I didn't understand this stuff at the time. And I would hear something else is happening now, and then something else is happening now. Fuck these people. I mean, I told you the story when they put me in that ward and they left me there and I had no advocate. And the guy next to me told me, you better wise up and get yourself out of here real fast. You don't know where you are. And I did. And I pulled it off. And I got myself out of it. They would have left me there. I'm telling you, time and time again, maybe it's just me. I'm the only one that sees this crap and I'm aware of it. Because then after I go through this or see it, I go study. And I study it like I study everything else. And I'm relentless. And then I back away for a little while because it takes over your life. And then I kind of forget about it for a little bit. And then something else happens and I look at it again. I'm like, oh, same crap. Why does it always look and smell the same? Maybe if it looks and smells like an ass, maybe it's an ass. See, my nurse friend is an oncology case manager now. We had a lot of guys get cancer from the trichloroethane tanks in the plant years ago. Yup. I may have even been exposed to some of that at Grumman as well. It wouldn't. I remember the MEK that they had flying around all over the place. They used it for everything, and they would dump it down the sink. And I would catch guys doing that. I'm like, what are you doing? We have the safety protocols in place. We have the storage tanks. We recover it. Why are you doing it? Because that's how they used to do it for years. See what Mike says. Mike has got he's got a little issue there. Same thing. With his throat. Let's see. Well, SG starter generator. Yeah. Yeah, the MEK, Mike. Yup. Methyl ethyl ketones. They're nasty. Bleach says, I had asthma to take Singular for it. Yeah, I forget what I use. I think it's just Proventil or like one of those. But I don't use it that often. Ken says, we would reach into the vapor zone. You could feel it entering your skin. Yes, it would. Yeah, it definitely does. Straight into your bloodstream and into your fat cells where it hangs out. Zip says, talking about rebuilding the starter generators, Arch. Yeah. Yep. What sounds like some scary stuff. Yeah, Rental says, YouTube shows us there's lots of good people in the United States, actually. Everywhere, yeah. Lots of good people in the world. Lucky to be able to learn from all that. That's what I like about a lot of these channels. There's so many cool people. It's just I can't believe some of the snapper mowers are like 60 years old. Yeah, I know. They're getting old. Rental says, classic. Stop and smell the roses watching YouTube shops. Yeah. Zip says, be right back. Dog wants let out. Yeah, I got to go check on my dog a little bit. Brett says, my mom died from Parkinson's dementia in February. Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is brought on. It's not normal to die this way. It's not normal to get these diseases. And no one wants to ask, where did I get it? Where did it come from? No one wants to answer the question. They just accept it. And I don't fucking accept it. I'm sick of accepting it. It's like taking a big red, white, and blue dick up your ass all the fucking time. All these taxes and all the stuff that they're trying to do. It's just getting played. Enough. People need some of their freedom back and some of their like sensibilities and to figure out what's wrong. Like, why are we polluting everything? The hell with climate change. How about pollution? How about all of this stuff that's toxic in the food and all around us? And these companies don't care. Like, they don't care if they expose people. It's just a business expense. It's like an insurance thing that they have to deal with. Let's see. Rental says, classic stop and smell the rose. Yeah. Ken says, my wife's uncle yesterday with dementia. Mm-hmm. He says, when I smoke bud, I remember things I forgot. And even the bud, I don't know if you guys have caught some of this, the bud from some of these dispensaries, they've got pesticides on it. A lot of the stuff has actually been shut down, according to what I've read. I don't know, I'm not there. But they're finding things in the bud in these dispensaries because it's starting to come from like all over the place. And people are using it's not a really controlled industry. And I suffice to say that the old game, the way it's played, is you either let the process run wild, where everybody and their mother's brother gets involved and they do shady stuff. You allow it to happen. People get really sick. It makes the news. The government comes in and goes, we need to regulate it. And the only way we can regulate it is we need big corporate America to come along and make it so we can regulate it. So all you guys that were making money on bud legally, you're all out. We'll arrest you if we catch you doing it. Only big pharma can grow it now, or big agro can grow it now. And then we can regulate them and it'll be safe and effective. That's where it's going to go. Mark my words. I'm getting all revved up now. I got to get out of here. Let's see. And they'll ruin it. Let's see. This is Ken says, I try to keep learning daily to keep my brain. Yeah, absolutely. Yup. Yeah, and you're smart, bro, and you remember things, and that's how you'll keep it. Yeah, there's a lot of, by the way, I've read stuff on, and I've also seen stuff on scientists that work with CVID stuff, right? Looking into it. And one of the problems with it, both this and the airborne form of it, I have to speak around this a little bit. The particle, right, that is the toxic particle, it gets through the blood-brain barrier, and it goes into the frontal cortex area. It's I forget the name of it. It's right in the front of the brain, and that's the area that is responsible for your personality and your general memory and of who you are. And when it attacks it, that and the constant fear-mongering of the repetitive nature of the news, and then they switch it up, it affects what's known as the neurons that index memory. And it imprints new memory of this repetition of fear. It's damaged by this protein, and then the repetition of the nonsense that's going on replaces it with these memories, and the old indexes get written over, and you're not producing new ones. So if you don't constantly produce new neurons up there, it keeps rewriting over and confusing the old ones, and eventually it will affect the people's memory. So when you go to talk to them about certain things, they become emotional, they refuse to listen, they can't think, and eventually it will lead to dementia. And this was known, and now we're finding it out because of the researchers are looking into it. But this was already known. And it's because of the furin cleavage site that they added in that extra split to make that protein, right? And they knew it was going to do this. So this stuff will eventually all come out. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it doesn't matter because it's going to come out. And eventually, a lot of people will know about it. And what do you do about it? There's ways around it. That's the stuff we're going to have to learn. There's usually fixes for a lot of this stuff. If you know exactly what's happening, you can usually fix a lot of it. Yeah, remember the carbon tat? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that stuff was nasty. It was really good. Yeah, Mark says, does anyone know how to take the ethanol-free gas out after separating it? What do you mean? How to take the ethanol-free gas out after separating it? No, the ethanol will be in the water. If you use, like I was showing that thing where you just mix it with water. Remember, it's 10% ethanol, so you need a little bit more than 10% of water to get the ethanol out so it'll combine. So let's say just double it, roughly, just as a guess. And then that water, especially if you add a little bit of food coloring to it, that water will have the ethanol in it, and then you just get rid of that. You can suck off the water, or you can suck off the fuel, and you'll have a little bit of waste in the layer in between, right? The what do they call that layer? The interposing layer? No, I forget what they call that. Yeah, for years they used that carbon tet. For years. Let's see. Yes, Brett, we were all strangers to him for years. Yeah, it happened to my uncle. Mark, I punch a hole above the water line and drain it out. Yup. Yeah, some people put little taps in. You could make a nice rig. He says, I have homegrown bud. A woman that he knows grew with love and care. Yeah, the sweet bud. Yeah. I see what this is. I'm without health insurance, so I've been on my own to make sure I don't eat stupid. Yeah, you got to really take care of yourself. Because it'll ruin you. Because that's basically what happened to me. Everything came in at once and destroyed me financially. And I knew that was going to happen, and I was trying to avoid all of this stuff. But my ex-wife knows now, but she wouldn't listen to me when I would tell her these freaking things. It's funny, because my daughter and her ex-boyfriend, they're probably still dating. But she was telling me the other day, she's like, Dad, we were talking about some stuff that we found out. And she was telling me about it. She goes, and when we found out about this stuff, she's like, we remembered you said this over a year ago, that this was going to be a thing. She's like, how do you know this? I'm like, I don't want to get into that. I'm like, but she's like, it took like a year, right, before you found out about it. And then it'll take like another year before other people will find out about it because you're actually starting to look for stuff, right? So when I told you about it, you thought I was just crazy and nuts. And everything. That's what usually people say. Like when I used to say, my buddy Juan, right? It was like a year or so ago. I was telling him stuff for a few years. And about a year ago, I said to him, I was telling him something, and I said, I bet you used to think I was just this crazy gringo in his backyard with lawnmowers and shit. I'm like, I bet you used to think that. He goes, yeah. He starts giggling. He goes, yeah, I did. He goes, and now, I go, and now what? He goes, well, you're still the crazy gringo in the backyard, but now I believe you. Because now I'm finding out a lot of this stuff. We just started giggling about it. It was hysterical. There's information out there, and there's ways of finding things out. You just have to know how to look. Maybe it's because it's in me because my dad was a private investigator. And I don't know. Some things I think if you want to look... The problem is if you want to look, there's two things that happen. You either find the boogeyman because you made up the boogeyman and you found the boogeyman, or there really is a boogeyman. And so I put everything into statistical, I don't think of them as statistical anomalies. I think of them as statistics in terms of what is the possibility that this that I heard or this that I found is real. And what is the possibility that this that I found or this that I heard is something that I want to be real? Like religion or a belief system, right? If you want it to be real, you'll insist. It's a bias towards a familiarity or a bias to a belief system. All humans do it. And so I just look at it and I just think about it for a while, and I don't have to be right or wrong, and I don't have to have an answer right away. Like, you don't actually have to know what the thing is right away, unless your life depends on it. But if your life doesn't immediately depend on it, it's just a piece of data point. And I just keep onto it. And then I keep coming across other things, and I look to see how the pieces fit. So I was explaining this to my daughter for a while. And not to mention, if you ask for guidance from the good Lord, will give you some guidance. But you have to be honest about it and be ready to see what you want to see, because you might find stuff that you're not going to be happy with. Let's see. Homegrown bud. Let's see. Brett says she went to the nursing home around 2019, not long after I got home from the hospital with my illness. Yeah. Just glitched. Yeah, it reconnected. Let's see. Good night, Alicia's. I hardly watch the news. It's sad and it's overwhelming with this. Some positive things. Yeah, well, I just watch it to see what they're up to. Bloodnose says good night. Lisa's been watching Lassie lately. Sweet. This Mark says, yeah, I don't have a pump. Yeah, I would get a pump. I want to get just the standard battery operated one. Like I have the squeeze bulb, but like the one that Terrell hawks, I might even just buy the one from his site. I just like that idea of just the battery thing, because like I have the other stuff, but that would be neat. Just a simple battery, stick it in there, little hose, suck it out. The nice, simple transfer pump. I could use something additional to add to my toolkit. Yeah, phase separation, yeah. As if it says, you siphon up the gasoline from top down to the water line or drain the water out from the bottom. Yep, that's what I do. I think we'll invite lawnmower and start someone to swear at it. Invent well enough to lawnmowers at my house. Princess Arch. If we hung out together in a shop, nothing would really get done. We'd be too busy cracking jokes and shit. Yeah, no, that's not true. And Rental says, yeah, because I see you're crazy and you're nuts. Yeah, sleepy time for, same here, Zip. I'm glad to hear from you, bro. I just keep wondering what you're up to. I get worried. I'm just glad you're doing better. I keep praying. Well, we all are. But I think, Brett, we would... Usually when I work with people like us, we have a time to do this. It's not planned. It just happens. And then you get it out of your system because humans need to relax and chill and enjoy themselves. And then you go back to work. And that's, by the way, I heard the story recently. I'll leave you with this, of the coffee break. That actually came from some company. Now, I don't remember the company. I'll look it up again, but look this up. It was women. It was women in a company, either World War I or World War II, because the men were not around. And it was difficult work, and they needed more production. And the problem was, it wasn't that the women couldn't do it. They were really good at it. It might have been weaving or something. It had something to do with parachutes or whatever, where the women were better at it than the men, regardless of whether the men are around. So the company employed the women. The women liked the job. When the owner went to them and said, we need more production, what can we do? The women got together and they said, what we want is a coffee break. They didn't actually say those words, but they said, we need a break. And we need some time to just, well, women in particular love to clutch, right? And I think it was the owner of that company decided coffee and donuts and whatever. And they did that, and the productivity went through the roof. They stayed longer. They were able to deal with it. And it got named the coffee break. And eventually it entered into the mindscape and, and the zeitgeist of corporate America and in the regular culture. So we would just go back to work, and then we would have these, cool breaks where we're all hanging out doing stupid crap. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. I'm glad to hang out tonight. I had fun with you fellas, and it's 3 hours, so I got to get out of here. I said I was only going to do 2, and it's 3 hours and 7 minutes. All right, fellas. I'm going to do, hold on. I'm going to go out with the Pit of Misery. To the Pit of Misery. We got to go out with the Pit of Misery. Yeah.
Sir Jeremy, you are a true friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Madam Susan, you are an even truer friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. What is that?
This is a spiced honey mead wine that I have really been into lately. So, dilly dilly, right?
Please follow Sir Brad. He's going to give you a private tour of the Pit of Misery.
I'm sorry, what?
Pit of Misery, dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.